Everything that lives is designed to end. We are perpetually trapped in a never-ending spiral of life and death. Is this a curse or some kind of punishment? I often think about the God who blessed us with this cryptic puzzle, and I wonder if we'll ever have the chance to kill him. Arcade. So I guess this is our cool podcast. Your cool podcast.
This is a cool podcast. The Void Arcade podcast.
Brandon talks about video games. Oh. I hope you're on a first name basis.
So far, well, we are now.
Oh no.
Aren't we? What do you go by these days?
Well, I guess just call me Jackson.
Jackson.
That's my real first name.
Well, you're doxxed now, bud, whether you like it or not. But yeah, man. I've been waiting to talk about NIER Automata for like 8,000 years. Just kidding.
This is 5 months in the making. Mostly procrastination, but 5 months.
Yeah, but I mean, it still left such a profound impact on me that I still think about like the game, and I think most of that's due to the spoilers.
Spoiler warning for a 4-year-old game. So you're at your own fault if you haven't played it yet.
Pretty much, yeah.
No, it's definitely one of those games where you like walk away and you're just like, dang.
And I feel like some people don't really get that too, because when I first started, I actually started playing this game like a year and a half ago, and I played through all of like the A ending, I think.
Yeah.
And it was like, I thought that was like the end of the game for some reason, but I'm like, that's so weird. Why would it just end like that? And then I came back 6 months later, and I'm like, do you mean to tell me there's more video game?
Well, I think a lot of people, I did that. Like, I played through all of 2B's story, and then when it starts up 9S, and then there's that really cool shot of 9S sitting over those 2 robots, and he's like, doesn't matter how much oil you give him, buddy, won't bring him back to life.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta do the whole story again through 9S, like, the worst character.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's like, oh, and it's a top-down shooter for most of it. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, the worst character, worst gameplay. Well, man, I stuck around and I changed my mind. 9S is... A2 is my favorite, but 9S is a very, very close second.
Yeah, the development he goes through is crazy.
Dude, that guy, like... I actually talked about this with a friend of mine when I first beat the game. But it's like 2B kind of starts the game as a robot. Like, she's like, emotions are prohibited, like, the whole time, right? Don't idle chit-chat isn't necessary. Please don't talk, 9S, right?
Yeah. And
9S starts out as, like, a human. All he does is, like, want to talk, and, like, there's that one call he has with his operator where they, like, congratulate him, and he's like, well, I couldn't have done it without you, operator. Like, you're so smart and pretty, and it's like, please save idle chit-chat for later, 9S. It's bad on your batteries. Like, oh, yeah. And like, it just hangs up on him. Like, everyone's so mean to 9S. But yeah, 9S's character development is like, he kind of becomes a robot almost once he finds out the purpose of Yorha, and like, that's his prime directive as far as he's concerned. In the final showdown, he tells his pod, cease all communication until myself or A2 are dead.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh. that was like, man. And all because he loved a girl, which is like, relatable, but...
Hashtag relatable.
Yeah. You'll ever end your existence of your entire race because you loved a girl?
It's pretty relatable.
Yeah, pretty relatable.
I've almost done that before.
Yeah, one time I did it, but like, I woke up from a tree. No. Well, let's talk about ending A.
Oh yeah.
And ending A is the ending. I think most people do this. Well, they'll start NIER Automata,
No.
They're like, oh, this game's cool.
Game's cool. Combat's flowy. You got a lot of weapon choices and options to go through, which I didn't even.
A hot anime girl.
Yeah, you play as good-looking, hot stuff.
Yeah. All the male characters look like girls. Like,
yeah.
Classic Japanese game design.
Classic Japanese game design. And even, like, I didn't even get through all the weapons either. And I didn't even do all the fishing in my playthrough.
Yeah.
Either. But there's, like...
There is a lot of content in this game that, like, I feel like a lot of people don't do.
Yeah.
I didn't do any of the fishing. I tried the weapons. And the weapons are actually important, but I'll save that for later because I kind of want to go through all the major endings first and then go through what we didn't do. Quick disclaimer, and I'm going to give a shout out to a YouTuber that's way more successful than you currently are, so sorry.
No, do it.
Michael Saba has a video about NIER Automata that talks about how, like, NPCs in the game are modeled after philosophers. And a lot of these NPCs that are philosophers, it reaches their, like, little stories. It reaches their logical conclusion with their philosophy. But it also subverts it in a way that makes it at times pretty dark.
Yeah.
And very sad.
Yeah, there's a couple of those in the first B ending that I wanted to bring up that were crazy impactful for me.
Yeah, and I think so in ending A, like, this is 2B's story, and I guess we'll talk about the entirety of 2B. So it's like 2B's easily the worst character. But she's the character everyone knows.
Yep, and the one that everyone fawns over.
2B, her character is very basic. She knows nothing about what's going on. She's very flat.
Yeah, she's just kind of... She's there to do the directive and to fulfill orders.
Yeah, she's there because Yoko Taro, the way he designs games, and if you've played Drakengard or... Actually, I don't know if he does this for sure in Drakengard. But he does this in NIER Replicant and NIER Gestalt, which are the same game, but changed for Western and Japanese audiences, respectively. Yoko Taro, when he makes games, he likes to make it so you have to play the same game multiple times, but your perspective changes each time. And so 2B is the ignorant character. She has no idea what's actually happening. She exists solely to be 9S's love interest. She's a little relatable. I just kind of was like, yeah, she looks cool. But she's a character everyone knows, and this game is told in a medium. Like, it's told, it can only be a game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it cannot be a book. It cannot be a movie. It has to be a game. And that's because of how Yoko Taro makes games. When he makes games, he tries to make a person feel an emotion, he says. And then he kind of works backward from there. So the emotion I think most people feel with 2B is like, whatever. Like, oh, that was cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like the generalist action. Cool.
Yeah. Like, some relief, maybe. Like, when you find out 9S isn't actually dead at the end of the fight with Eve.
Right.
2B's character is your character, I think.
Just kind of there to be a vehicle for you to just kind of dip your toes in the world building and how things work, and things work like this. And this is how your high is, and your directive is to do this. It's very, I guess it's very gamey. Like, her character and her story is very video game.
Yeah, so
bare bones.
Kind of like Undertale in this game, the enemies are not necessarily like aggressive. They're a lot of them can be passive and won't even fight you.
Yeah. Like,
the lore builds up this huge war that's been going on for thousands of years between humans and aliens. And then when you land on Earth, it's like, well, where are all the robots?
Yeah, what are these dudes?
Yeah. It's like, wait, this is the thing I'm supposed to be afraid of? Like, this is the thing that nearly wiped out humanity? Like,
The things that almost have a cutesy design to them.
yeah. And they're kind of stupid. And then you find out, like, as you play through 2B's story, you find out Yorha's units, the androids, are like abandoning their posts, they're having relationships, they're not doing Yorha's prime directive, which is to eliminate machines and aliens respectively.
They're even teaming up, or they have friendly communications with...
Yeah, they talk to like machines like Pascal.
Machines,
and then I think the first big plot twist shows with 2B, which is the aliens are dead.
Yeah.
They no longer exist. The machines have taken over. They've overpowered their alien leaders, and I guess like you find out about Adam and Eve before the aliens' deaths, but it ultimately leads to the creation of Adam and Eve, which are these two machines that look oddly similar to androids.
Uh-oh.
They even have the same particle effects with like the light. Like 9S's like hacking thing.
Yeah.
It's like the same like white light thing. That was, I think, the first time I was like, hold on, something isn't as it seems here.
Yeah, something's a little bit off.
Something's off. When you walk into that robot orgy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was like, wait, this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then you get to the aliens. I think when I finally got to the part where you're like, the aliens are dead, I was like, wait a minute, there's aliens in this game? Because there was like... Because it's the machines and the androids, it's really heavy-handed.
Yeah.
And the directive is just so, like, kill the machines, that I totally spaced the aliens even existed. But they'd been gone for a long, long time.
I can't remember if you find this out on... No, you find it out on 9S's playthrough. Yeah. So, anyway, with 2B, you kind of, like, explore the world, you fight some bosses, and they ultimately mean nothing, but I guess the second boss to know is Simone, which is the mannequin robot in the opera theater.
That completely... So that when you fight that is 2B, I'm just like, wow, this is kind of a cool boss. But then you fight it as 9S, and you learn the backstory.
It puts it on its head.
Puts it on its head, exactly.
Yeah, so when you fight it as 2B, it's just basically like a little bit of like android body horror.
Yeah.
Like, this robot has reverse engineered android corpses to be weapons, and it uses it to emit like the same frequency that enters the hacking space in androids, and it tries to attack your logic systems.
Yeah.
So that's when you get your first instance of hacking and top-down shooting, besides the flight units. But with 2B, it's kind of like, oh, this boss is a little fun, a little scary. As Michael Saba put in his video, the boss at one point says, like, look at me, and the camera physically moves away from the boss as it begs you to look at it.
Oh.
So I don't know if you caught that.
I don't know if I did catch
I
that.
didn't. Yeah, I didn't. I watched Michael Saba's video last night because a friend told me, like, oh, it's a super good video, so you should watch it and maybe incorporate some of the stuff he has to say into the podcast, which, hey, I'm doing, so thanks, Mike. So I want to come back to her when we talk about 9S.
Oh, for sure.
I kind of want to do how Yoko Taro pace the game, so it's like we'll talk about 2B stuff and then we'll go to 9S and then
slowly progress into all the spoilers and good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very like everything is basically on the surface when you play as 2B. Very surface level. With the progression of things, I think it just worked really well. Even though it was a little bit repetitive to come back and be like, oh, I'm playing it again. I think the moment that I realized I'm learning new information on the 2B play or the 9S playthrough, I was like, okay, this is actually like I was starting to get gripped. It was gripping, which is I think why I stuck around for the whole 40 hours I spent. 30 hours is because I kept finding all these like new facts and things to learn. And
I think my first playthrough took me about 40 hours, and then I did my second playthrough for this podcast, and I had about 90-something hours clocked.
wow.
This is like one of my favorite RPGs ever.
It is
like
so good.
Which is funny because Yoko Taro isn't a very well-known... I guess maybe after NIER Automata he is, but before he was not really ever... He was never part of the A-team on Square Enix's like game team. He was always kind of just like, he's there. He makes Drakengard.
Yeah.
So then you get to the Kaiju boss fight. And that one is pretty cool. Nothing to note, just it's a big boss that has an EMP, and it's just like, we got that android threat out of the way. And then I think right after the Kaiju fight, you meet A2 for the first time in the forest. And it's like, wait a second, I've heard androids abandoning their post, but this is the first one we've seen that's abandoned their post. And A2 looks very cool when you see her.
Yeah, she like straight up murders that tiny king.
She murders the baby king the androids in the machines in the forest are protecting. They are emulating like feudalistic kingdoms of old in the West. And you reach the top of the tower, and the top of the castle, and that was a cool subversion of expectations. Yeah. Expecting to find this like rugged, like bearded robot, and then you see it's just a baby.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, what? This is the king? And then descending from the sky is the coolest character in the whole game, A2. She does not look... She looks a lot like 2B.
Yeah.
But she is very dirty.
Battle-worn.
Yeah, she's very battle-worn. She's very dirty. It looks like she hasn't had a bath in I don't know how many years. Her hair is insanely long.
Yeah.
It goes down to like her hips. And she has two very futuristic looking weapons, which you learn are old model unit weapons. So compared to like 2B's katanas, you're kind of like, oh, I want to use those. Those look cool.
And they're like the old model.
Yeah, they're the old model. 9S calls out to her and asks, why did you betray Yorha? Why did you leave? And she says one line, Command was the one that betrayed you. And she vanishes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Now, if you stopped at 2B's playthrough, that's the end of A2.
Yeah.
You see no more A2.
And I think a lot of people do that. I was reading a Twitter post not too long ago that was like, man, I hated NIER Automata because all it is
Devil May Cry.
Tiny, yeah, it's like Devil May Cry gameplay, and it's just anime girls with tiny skirts. And I was like, well, somebody didn't play the whole game. And they're like, it's only, and I think in the post they're like, it was only 8 hours. And I'm like, 8 hours is like the first, like,
the worst part.
Yeah,
8 hours is the worst part.
It's one of the worst parts of the game. You're barely getting any like world building or story at all.
Yeah. And then I think after that you fight Adam and Eve in the... Maybe you'd fight him before this, but we're kind of jumping around, I guess, at this point. You fight Adam.
Yeah.
And this is kind of where the game goes from, oh, this is cool, to this is like some serious narrative here.
Yeah. Because Adams takes 9S to that.
So, yeah. So you would fight the Kaiju after A2, and then during the Kaiju fight, when 2B comes back from out to sea, 9S was like shooting. 9S went and got like a rocket to shoot at the boss.
Yeah. Because
nothing was working because it had a special force field around it that would block energy-based weapons. So they had to use like a nuke, basically. When 2B comes back, 9S is missing. Oh. And all these androids have black boxes like many machines that we have today. His black box signal is somewhere deep underground, and that's where you know where the aliens are. And so when you head down to where his signal is you come across a city that is made entirely out of silicon and quartz.
Yeah,
I think it's what you're.
Just white.
It's nothing but white, and it looks exactly like Paris or England. It's very European style buildings.
Oh yeah.
And there's Adam waiting for you, and he has 9S essentially crucified up on the wall. He's in the same Christ-like position, and while not on a cross, his arms and legs are nailed to the wall. And that's when you fight Adam. And Adam says he has removed himself from the network of machines because he needs to experience the only thing that humans can do that machines can't do, which is die.
And he does.
Because when you die in this game as a machine or an android, your system is just simply backed up into a server, and then a new body is made for you, and you're loaded up, everything's fine.
Yeah.
So this is the first real death in this game. You've died plenty of times as 2B and 9S through the first part of the story, but this is the first time when you kill a character it matters, because they're gone forever. Also, something to note, I don't know if you noticed this, it's pretty obvious, but like the androids bleed.
Yeah, they do.
Not blood, or blood. They don't bleed like oil. At first they do. In the first mission, they do bleed oil. But then at some point in the game, everything begins to bleed red, like blood almost.
Yeah.
It's not confirmed to be blood. I don't know if it was actually, but it looks like blood. And when you kill Adam, he quite literally says it's dark and it's cold. And he dies.
And then he dies.
That fight left me feeling weird.
It was a strange one. I remember it being not that difficult either.
No, it wasn't.
Because you could... I guess the dodge is pretty generous with a lot of the characters.
Yeah.
But even then, I think there wasn't even... Because I feel like some of the bosses have some really cheesy moves that always get you. But Adam was like, dodge, kill, dodge, murder.
Yeah, this is your second time fighting Adam. The first time you fight him is in the
alien spaceship.
Alien spaceship with his brother Eve. But, it's more of a scripted cutscene, because I don't think you can actually die during that fight, and they can't die either. Adam dies. And Adam has a brother named Eve. So you take 9S back to the resistance camp, you get them all patched up. Or maybe it's the bunker. You get them patched up somewhere.
Yeah.
I know I said I like this game and I'm forgetting a lot of things, but that's because 2B story is the worst. So.
Ejected from
very forgettable. Yeah. And then after you get them patched up, some stuff happens that's pretty not relevant. And then... Then basically the end of the game happens. You fight Adam's brother Eve.
Because he's angry.
He's angry. He's psychotic.
Way angry. And he's strong too.
He's very strong. He's the final boss. He's the last machine. He makes every machine on the network go berserk. They all have one mission now. To kill Yorha Unit 2B and 9S.
Yeah.
It's kind of hinted at that if you can kill Adam, all the machines will be disconnected from the network and won't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And during this fight against Adam, he's saying things like, "You killed him, you killed my brother." And it's portrayed in a way where it's both sympathetic and Eve is psychotic, because he does a lot of just random screaming, too.
Yeah, he did.
The fight's very emotional. It's
quite emotional.
9S vanishes during the fight because he has some hacking network thing. And when the fight's over, 9S won't wake up. Adam's dead, Eve is dead, and none of the machines are moving. However, the machines begin to that surround A2. And by the way, A2's 2B. She's very battered. She can hardly walk.
Yeah.
Systems are failing. And then that's when a voice comes out from one of the machines, and it's 9S's voice. And he says, "Oh, remember how I backed our dad up in the bunker? Well, this time, when my body got infected or corrupted by the machine network, I just backed my system up on the machine network. Yeah, I'll just upload myself to the bunker. Everything's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's the end of the game. The machines are gone.
Happy ending.
9S is over. Happy ending, right?
Happy ending.
But it feels like a lot's missing. Who's A2?
Yeah. Who's A2?
We need to talk about Pascal.
And
Pascal's important. Pascal.
Friendly machine. Conscious
friendly machine. Yeah. Himself and all of his other robot friends have disconnected themselves from the machine network because they want to live their own lives. They don't want to be part of Adam and Eve's plan. They just want to be themselves.
Yeah.
They have their own little colony outside of the forest, outside of the amusement park. And it's just like, yo, we're chilling. We're peaceful.
We're here.
We do trades to resistance camp.
Yeah, you want to trade with us? We got wares.
We got oil filters for you guys.
Yeah.
Pascal helps during the kaiju fight. He tells you,
Yeah, that's it.
like what it's doing, and that it's basically a big EMP. So it's like, yeah, if that thing he reaches land, we're all dead.
Yeah.
So Pascal's more of like an information dump most of the game in a 2B story.
Yeah, that's true.
So let's talk about 9S's story.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of, I think, it about 2B, and this is where things get cool.
Where things get cool and repetitive.
Yeah.
The combat is way less satisfying. I think overall it felt all the combat felt a little bit dated.
Yeah.
But then you start playing as 9S and I only hacked everything because hacking was so overpowered.
Yeah. So when you play 2B and A2 combat model Yorha units, you're playing Diet Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of fun, but the upgrade system in this game is you can only do combos equal to the level of your weapon. But that lets you use literally whatever weapon you want because there's no weapon stats. So if you like the way 2B's katanas look, hey man, you can use those. If you like the way the Beast Lord sword looks, you can use that.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool. Also, you have like chips, and these computer chips are basically the equip system.
Yeah.
Each chip takes up a certain number of slots, and if you want combat-oriented chips, you stick those in there. If you want hacking-oriented chips, you stick those in there.
And if you want to die, you take out your OS chip.
You take out your OS. Yeah, you can actually remove parts of the UI, which I think is hilarious.
I really like that.
Yeah, I don't need a mini-map. You can disconnect that and put in, like, the counter instead or something.
Yeah.
Or the auto aim function, you can remove that if you played on easy mode. But, yeah. So, when you get to 9S is I don't want to offend anyone. 9S is a femboy.
Indeed.
Alright? He's weak. He's not very good at fighting. He's a scanner unit. He's not a combat model.
Yeah.
He's just this cute twink.
Just
and so
living his best life, doing his job.
I can say this because I am a 9S cosplayer. I know what it's like. I've been there personally. Yeah, like Brandon was saying, he's very bad at fighting, but he's very good at hacking.
Yeah.
So what hacking does is it forces a machine to blow up if they're in combat with you. Otherwise, you can take control of them, or you can even become them
and read their minds, which leaves a lot of room for more exposition dumps and interesting dialogue.
Yeah, so the beginning of 9S's story mode is I think one of the coolest openings ever, actually. In 2B's story, you're flying down from the bunker in these flight units. 2B says that lying about killing God,
Yeah.
and all of your flight crew is destroyed, and 2B's the only surviving one. But in 9S, you're already down on Earth.
Yep.
He's doing some scouting, because that's the main purpose of scanning units, to collect intel. And he's sitting he's sitting on a catwalk in the factory zone. He's looking over some data, and below him are two robots with yellow eyes, which are the friendly robots. Red means they're angry, and green means they're Pascal.
Yeah.
And yellow are the friendly ones. They don't really fight you. But these robots, they have a brother that's on the floor that's like, dead. There's no lights on. And there's another little tiny guy. And the tiny guy is getting oil, and it trips with the oil if you walk over certain places. If you jump, it drops the oil. Yep. It's very clumsy.
Yeah.
You dump oil on your brother, because you play as this little robot for the first part of 9S.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is a kind of a cool connection with NIER Replicant. That is almost the exact same opening in NIER Replicant.
Oh.
You get your sister a cookie. Yeah. So when I played NIER Replicant, I was like, oh, that's cool.
That Yoko magic.
Yoko Taro magic. So, and then 9S says probably one of my favorite lines in the game, which is, no matter how much oil you give him, buddy, he'll never bring your brother back.
Yeah.
Implying that this machine is dead forever. So these machines must be disconnected from the network, whatever they are. So then 9S gets a call. Hey man, time to move out, from his operator. And he says, in typical 9S fashion, because he's never excited to do anything.
No.
Yeah, I'm on it.
I'm getting to it.
So the game starts out exactly like 2B's. You're in a flight unit, going through the factory.
Fighting the big kaiju.
But you fight the kaiju, but you fight the kaiju through hacking it.
Yeah.
Or not the kaiju, the Goliath class
the Goliath
machine. Which is like, they look cool. They
big
look like
boy.
They look like rusty Gundams almost.
Yeah.
Only made entirely out of like factory parts. So they have like giant like hook arms.
Massive saw blades.
Yeah, it looks sweet.
Sweet.
So, but so it's like you meet up with 2B. 9S explains, just like in 2B's story, like, ma'am, I don't get to work with partners very often, so having you around, like, I'm kind of excited. It's kind of fun, right?
Yeah.
I'm only all by myself, so you feel a little bit of sympathy for this guy.
Yeah. Just a big loner.
Just a big loner, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, like, whole factory debacle where 9S has the brilliant idea of, hey man, if we touch our two black box units, which are essentially their hearts with 2B, it'll cause like a very violent reaction, and it'll make basically a nuke. And that's how they defeat the first few Goliath class units. 9S backs their data up to the bunker, they get new bodies, they talk to the commander, and it's like, hey man, our mission is to serve all of mankind that are here on the moon with us. But like, yeah, so, go do your thing, right? Go serve humanity. That's what you two are for. That's what we're all for here at the bunker. So you go back down to the Earth's atmosphere, and it's the exact same thing as 2B for the most part.
Yeah.
Fight the same bosses, but things get interesting.
Yeah, you start
so
learning
9S hears
stuff.
9S hears things that other people can't, because he's a scanner unit. And he's not a scanner unit. 9S is the scanner unit. He is the one that Yorha sunk the most amount of resources into. He's very good at his job. I think the first boss that I can remember that was like different was Simone, the robot in the amusement park.
Yeah, that one was the one that affected me the most.
Michael Sava points this out in his game. And back to the philosopher thing that I teased earlier. Simone is actually a philosopher.
Oh.
She is a philosopher in feminism, and she gives the idea of different gender roles for the first time, gender identities.
Mm.
The function of a woman is to be beautiful and to get the attention of men. Essentially is like her first proposal. It doesn't sound very feminist by today's standards.
Yeah.
But, you know, she was saying, like, essentially, like, in society, women's function is to gain recognition from other men, right?
Right.
The function of men, or society, is viewed through the lens of masculinity and manhood. That was her whole message, right? And she wanted to make it more even, right?
Yeah.
So, and she had a open polyamorous relationship with another philosopher named John Paul. And John Paul...
yeah, John Paul.
John Paul is in the game as a robot
As a
with
robot.
top hat. Yeah, he has a top hat.
Yeah, you deliver messages for him from other various women robots. Aren't you gonna respond, John Paul? No. For me to receive that message, it is enough.
John Paul has a side quest, and he's kind of mean to other robots.
Yeah.
He gets all the love and attention from all these lady robots, but he just kind of like,
Just poo-poos him away.
Yeah. So Simone started out as a normal machine, falls in love with Jean Paul, and Jean Paul never reciprocates her love. So what does she do? She dismantles other robots and androids and makes her look, quote unquote, beautiful.
More beautiful.
Right?
Yeah.
And after all her upgrades, after she's dismantled like hundreds of androids and robots to become the monster that she is now, Jean Paul vanishes.
Poof.
Right? That's some deep stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's some heartbreaking stuff. And that was what I was talking about when Yoko Taro takes these philosophers' logical ends to their extreme, a point where it turns them on their heads.
Mm-hmm.
This is a woman that performed her function to the best of her abilities, but was ultimately, they weren't met. She never, because the truth is, in society, fellas, no one is obligated to love you, right?
Yeah. Didn't.
No matter how much you do for them.
Yeah.
So,
no matter how beautiful you think you can get.
No matter how beautiful you are, and she became a monster doing so.
Yeah.
So now you feel sympathy for this robot. It's like, oh, all she wanted to do was fall in love, and the guy she loves never reciprocated her love.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
She kept working on herself to no end. All for naught.
And it became this big body horror monster.
Yeah. Very cool boss.
Yeah. Super cool boss. When you fight Adam and Eve, they kind of are like a little predatory towards 9S. The dialogue doesn't change very much. It's just like, oh, hey, little boy. Not really. That's what it felt like, though.
Yeah. They've got.
Maybe that's because I know what happens. That's why it feels like that. At the end of each of 9S's missions, there's like a little like pop-up storybook almost, or film, right? Like an old-timey film.
Mm-hmm.
9S narrates it, and it's usually about the robot you just fought.
Yeah.
And they all end in the robot basically being like, oh, he was filled with hate, or he was alone, or something, some terrible emotion.
Yeah.
Right? So Yoko Taro loves to do this. He likes to kind of muddy the waters between what is right and what is wrong. and who are the good guys and who are the bad guys.
Yeah.
Without spoiling too much, in NIER Replicant, your character is essentially the bad guy. But that's for a different podcast.
The next featuring Jackson podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to get into that.
Oh, I'm back in, fellas. I got another job. I'm just here because Brandon's my friend, so he's not paying me. Thank you very much. No, I don't want pay anyway. But anyway, regardless, I'm here because I love video games.
Video games are awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked those little stories. I think in like what I found happening to me through a lot of 9S's playthrough is it would be like, I almost feel like it would be a gag. Like there's that one robot that's like, I'm contemplating existence, and I'd kind of chuckle. I'm like, oh, that's cute. He's thinking about like
jumps off the ledge. Or
he's like thinking about life and his existence, and then he jumps off the ledge, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, this joke just got really deep. This got deep.
So this game is very interesting because it has lots of weird tones that shouldn't work, but they do.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So when you go to this is like, you just went to like a robot orgy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that these new other robots that look a lot like androids are here. Like aliens that they work for are dead. They killed them. You walk across this bridge into a shopping mall. There's some lighthearted moments where 9S is like, oh, this is a shopping mall 2B.
People used to buy
Maybe
things.
when this is over. Yeah. Maybe when this is all over, like we can go to a mall and I could buy you a shirt, right? It's like, that's kind of cute, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, 9S is in love, right?
Yeah.
And then, oh, this is important. 9S at one point tells 2B, like, because keep in mind, fellas, he's got a big crush on her. He says, people that like me kind of call me Nines, not 9S, so
You should,
right?
You
like,
should call me 9.
Wink, wink, right? And then she's like, 9S works just fine. 9s is unnecessary.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay.
It's like, rejected.
Dude, it happens the best way. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, go look for another.
Yeah.
Unless you're 9S. 9S says, oh man, there's only one for me. It's that one right there with the big booty.
Yeah.
So when you go to the shopping mall, there's that really cute moment where 9S kind of hints, hey, we should go on a date when this whole war's over, right?
Yeah.
And 2B's like, I would like that. And it's like, first success for 9S, right? Like, hell yeah, bro. You got
it.
And then you got it, dude. You got your date, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you meet the strangest little creature named Emil.
Yeah, Emil.
He's just ahead. And he says, well, hey there, guys. Well, what you doing, right?
Yep.
And 9S says, ew, this thing's gross, let's kill it.
Yeah.
And it runs away.
Yeah, I like that.
And it makes, like, slapstick sounds when it runs away. And you're like, what game am I playing? And then Emil's a shop owner. And if you know anything about Yoko Taro, Emil's character in his last game. An important character, but we'll come back to that. Then you fight the big kaiju. And the entire time, 9S is getting pooped on by his superiors. His operator, mainly. He tries to have lighthearted conversations with people, and they always shut him down.
Yeah.
As I was saying earlier.
Keep to the mission, 9S.
Yeah, 9S, stay on the mission. Focus on the mission, 9S.
Yeah.
Like, 9S, we need to do something. He groans. Fine, right? He doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to fight, clearly. Right? All he wants to do is go on a date with this cute girl that he's working with.
Yep. That's it.
Then you get to the kaiju fight. And I think this is when the plot separates from 2B.
Mm-hmm. And it thickens.
A lot.
A lot. And like in the span of like 20 minutes, it's like, okay.
So for those of you keeping score at home, you might have been like, oh, I wonder what happens on 9S's story mode when 9S gets kidnapped by Adam. Well, this will answer your question, bud.
Yeah.
But I think you should play the game first, not listen to us.
Yeah.
So this is my final, maybe not final, but big spoiler.
Big spoiler.
Big spoiler.
Huge.
So, 9S went and hacked the nuke to go shoot at the robot, right? He gained its controls, which you might be wondering how does that work? Machine magic, idiot.
Yeah.
And so, and then he shoots it at the thing, the nuke goes off. Only this time, you don't wake up. You enter hacking space. And you're like, oh, where the heck am I, right? Well, your body's there, and your mind is active, but you can't boot up. You can't turn yourself on, right? 9S, being the smart guy he is, decides I'm gonna back my data up into the bunker, and I'll reload, and I'll be just peachy.
Yeah.
Right.
Beep boop beep boop.
Hacking it up.
But when he tries to boot himself up, there's a feedback loop, and he says, "Hold on, Pod 153. Let's not boot myself up yet. There's something wrong with the system. Let's go look." Right. So, breaking every freaking rule that Yorha has.
Yep.
9S archives or accesses the main system. And he finds out some pretty interesting things. Mainly that the humans are dead.
Yep.
They're all extinct.
Humans are gone.
And that is, so it's like, hold on. The machines creators, the aliens are dead.
And then
the humans creators, or the androids creators, the humans are dead. So why are we fighting, right?
Exactly.
You confront the commander about it, and the commander says, we need a god to fight for, and that's why I lie to everyone. Right? What you do with this information is entirely up to you, 9S, is what she tells you. 9S keeps his mouth shut. He doesn't tell any other androids about the humans. And you might be wondering, that seems stupid. He doesn't want to fight.
Yep.
Which I agree. I think he should have told 2B immediately.
Yeah.
Especially since there's androids leaving their posts, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Also, I think it's at this point you learn that the Earth has quit rotating on its axis, and it's perfectly still as it just orbits the sun. Which, given how much life is on the planet still, shouldn't be possible, but whatever. Right?
Alright.
It's a sci-fi game. I don't care.
Yeah, that's a new one to me. I don't remember that.
I think you learn it by talking to the Goliath class machine you fight at the very beginning of the game, Ignis or whatever his name is. And he mentions that, like, at this point in the game, if you talk to him, that the Earth has quit rotating on its axis.
That's
right.
That's extreme.
Yeah, that's just overkill.
Yeah.
So there's no way humans could survive on the Earth, even if they were around. But there's still, like, moose and stuff, so whatever.
Yeah, whatever. No, I kept coming back to think about that. That perplexed me for weeks. When I learned that, I was like, man, so these machines and these androids are fighting a war for civilization that's been dead for millennia, maybe. Like, for who knows how long, thousands of years. They just keep being programmed to fight, so that they just keep fight.
Yeah, it's very
perplexing.
It's very, like, you know, I think the biggest plot twist in the game, because it's like, holy crap, we're fighting a proxy war for people that are dead.
Yeah.
Like, because we have to, because we're programmed to. Anyway, 9S keeps his mouth shut.
Yeah, just
and
keeps it with him.
He meets up with 2B, and together they fight Eve. But you get a cutscene before you fight Eve. And it's Eve and Adam. Well, actually, throughout 9S's story mode, you get little cutscenes that reveal backstories of characters. And two big ones are Adam and Eve's.
Is that them when they're hanging out at the table?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll be at this table, and they're reading the Bible, of all texts.
Fitting for their namesakes.
Yeah, so, and this is how they pick the name Adam and Eve. Because Adam reads the Bible, and he was created first, and Eve quite literally crawled out of him, right?
Yep.
And that's why he's named Eve. They're reading the Bible to understand humanity. You know, for those of you who are atheist or other religion, take that for what you will. Regardless, they use a Western religion, right? To understand humanity.
Yeah.
The entire game has a very Western tropes, even though it's an Eastern game. Except for the one... Well, I guess not. It has a lot of Eastern tropes. It has a lot of Western, like...
ideologies and stuff.
Ideology and, well, I'm about to blow your mind at the end of the game. Or at the end of this podcast with that ideology.
You better.
But, yeah. We'll come back to this whole belief system later, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they read the Bible. And, you know... Eve is a little kid, and Adam is the cool older brother, right?
Yeah.
Because Eve says, I want to play during these cutscenes, right?
Yeah.
And Eve says, after you read your chapter, or Adam says, after you read your chapters, we'll go play, right? And Eve's all excited. So he reads his chapters and he studies hard, right?
Like a good little boy.
Like a good little brother, right? Because Adam's all he's got, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
So, after that, Adam is killed by 2B, and Eve's all alone. And Eve's at that table where him and his brother used to sit, and he's crying. And he's like, "Oh, they killed my brother. I'm gonna kill them." Depending on how relatable that is to you, you might feel a little sympathetic for Eve at this point. Because it's like, he was just trying to have a good time with his brother. A once psychotic villain is now a little bit understandable and a little bit more humanized.
Yep.
Because really, he's angry that you killed his brother. Right?
Yeah.
Which you kind of get before, because he's like, you killed him, you killed my brother, when you fight him.
And honestly, and that was one of the things that I thought was interesting, is how the machines were almost emulating humanity more than the androids were, that were created by humanity, you know?
Yes.
I found that to be a really interesting little parallel that I kept thinking about the whole game.
Yeah, and I think, well, we'll get that when we get to A2, I guess.
Yeah.
So, you fight Eve as 9S. And during the fight, 9S basically has a, not necessarily mental breakdown, but he's infected with a logic virus, right?
Yeah.
And logic viruses, if you know anything about computing, it basically breaks like an AI system. Like, they don't know, like it makes it so they cannot think anymore, right? So logic virus is a big deal for an AI. So he gets infected with a logic virus, but he backs himself up onto the machine network, and he kind of has this cool thing where he like stabs Eve before he vanishes, right? He backs themselves up onto the bunker, and that's it. That's ending B, right? All's well that ends well. And then ending C and D, and this is where things get really heavy.
Yeah.
Right?
If you thought your mind got blown in ending B.
Right.
Yeah.
It like, whoa, hold on, machines are like, so yeah, it makes it seem like the war's over, but after the credits, there's a preview for the next episode, because this was during kind of the episodic releases of games.
Yep.
Although this game was not episodic, it just had a preview to keep on you to go back and play. Basically, it says like, you know, we can eliminate the machines right now. So you're like, hold on, I thought we already did that.
Yep.
No, you just eliminated all the machines that were present, right?
Yep.
Yorha's final attack against the machines begins. And remember how 9S used the machine's data, or network, to back his own data up? Well, 9S made a huge mistake. He accidentally made it so the machines could perfectly hack Yorha units in this attempt. So they were able to reverse engineer his wavelengths and be able to hack Yorha units. And they infect Yorha units with a insane logic virus. It basically turns them into machines that can only fight, right? They're mindless, They laugh as they fight you.
Zombies.
And I want to mention... Yeah, zombies. And I want to mention that during this fight, all the combat units all look the exact same. Even 2B wears the same uniform.
Yeah.
Right? So it turns them from once people you knew on the bunker into these mindless robots. The only scanner unit that is there is 9S. As far as I know, anyway.
Yeah.
It's the only one you see. And by some miracle, 9S doesn't get infected with the logic virus, but 2B does.
I think he does, but he hacks it out right before.
Probably.
And he does this same for 2B, at least.
Yeah, because I remember that, because 2B would get infected multiple times, and he would hack her and fix the problem, right? But at some point, they get separated, and 2B can no longer rely on 9S to fix her systems, right?
Yeah.
And 2B getting infected with the virus, her systems are failing. She limps back to the shopping mall, of all places.
Yeah.
And she picks the shopping mall because that's where the fewest amount of androids are during this fight. She doesn't want to infect any more androids. She's going there to die. And this is really sad.
Yeah.
This is where I cried for the first time in the game. Because sad music's playing, the bunker blows up.
Yep.
Right?
So there's no way to back up.
Left to go.
Can't back
nowhere
up.
to back up your data. Right? Like, the command's gone. Everyone's dying.
And then there's like no hope because there's no humans, there's no aliens, there's no point to any of this.
So you end the system. It's very brutal, right? Machines are attacking you as you limp. You can't fight back because your system's failing. Like, it'll say like command not issued properly if you tried anything. And pod 042 is giving you like suggestions on what to do. And 2B finally snaps back for the first time, saying, "There's no point anymore. The bunker's gone." Right? And you're on the edge of your seat where it's like, what's happening? Like, is this the end of 2B? Is this how the game ends? Right?
Yep.
And the best girl in the whole game, A2, shows up. Kneeling before A2, 2B asks A2 for one final wish, which is to protect 9S.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah. Protect 9S, right? And 9S finally meets up with A2 because 9S puts himself on the bunker to save command, right? But he gets there too late and everyone's infected. And I think 2B goes with him at some point. But
yeah.
They come back to Earth through the flight units, and that's when the bunker is blown up. And that's when they get separated through the atmosphere, right?
Yep.
And so this part sent shivers down my spine. It made me get goosebumps. 2B sees 9S on the bridge. She looks back at 9S and says, "Oh, nines." And then A2 kills her.
Boom. Dead. Of course, he had to show up at the last minute.
So 9S, without any context, sees A2 kill 2B, takes her sword and cuts her hair to look like 2B. What a crazy bitch, right?
Yeah.
Like, understandably, after seeing the woman he loved, and finally this woman showed love towards him, right? His best friend, his love interest, understandably he's pretty mad. He pulls his sword and he says, "I'm going to kill you, A2."
Yep.
And as this is happening, as you're running around the map as 9S, like your pod keeps warning you that tremors are being detected beneath the earth, and you're like, whatever, not my problem, right?
I got somebody.
Well, it turns out it is your problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because this huge structure made of the same silicon and quartz that this fake city was made out of erupts from the ground, and it creates, honestly, the coolest looking structure I've ever seen. It looks so
Yeah,
pretty.
with all
It's a
those
big tower,
spires.
spires everywhere. It looks like a Tower of Babel, right?
Yeah.
9S falls into a ravine, and you're given an option as the two pods meet up, and they say, "I'm worried about 9S's mental state." And Pod 042 now has been given the prime directive of following A2.
To be dead.
2B's dead. Sorry, fellas. That's okay. 2's way better. So you're given the option. You can play as 9S or A2. So I think at this point, I picked A2.
Yeah, I think
because
I was way interested in what A2 was doing too. So.
Yeah, because you don't know anything about A2.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was she doing back in the forest? Like, did she know this would happen? Like, how did she know Command betrayed them? Right?
Exactly.
Essentially.
So many questions.
Right? So, I think most people pick A2. A2 is asked by 042, hey, what do you want to do? Right? The pod 042.
Yeah, and
right?
she's just like, shut up.
Shut up, right? Don't talk to me. Leave me alone the whole time, right?
Yeah, the whole time.
And then finally, this part was hilarious because it's like, I will repeat the question every 30 seconds until I receive an answer.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, do you ever shut up? No. And she's like, okay, fine. My mission is to kill all machines, right?
Yeah.
And then Pod 042 is like processing. Boop, 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 boop.
Boop, boop.
There's a large machine life form in the desert.
She's
right?
like, great.
She's like, great, let's go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they run over there, and you get basically a tutorial mission, boss fight for A2, where you learn about B mode.
Yeah.
And B mode stands for Berserker, I think.
Yeah.
But A2's gameplay is very similar to 2B's.
Yeah, there's just a few different... there's the Berserk mode, really.
There's a Berserk mode. You can't self-destruct anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because it causes a game over. There's no bunker to back up your system too. Yeah, so the game changes here. Because before, if you died, it was kind of like Dark Souls. Your body would be left behind, and you could go and pick up your stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now if you die, there's no bunker to back your data up to. So now you just get a game over, right?
Game over.
Which I think is cool.
Yeah, I
right?
liked how that they changed that up like that.
You get access to Berserk mode as A2, and your dash is different. It looks way cooler.
Yeah, the dash is way
you dash
cooler.
forward, you get like the Sharingan eye, and you like turn invisible for a second. But largely, gameplay's the same. Same weapons, everything transfers over.
Yeah, which I think that's a plot point, right? Because 2B is like, my sword, it's yours now. It has my memories.
Yeah, she's like, everything I have, I give to you, right?
Yeah.
And A2, I don't know how this works, but just by wielding A2's sword, by wielding 2B's sword, she has her memories, right?
Yeah.
And I think really it's because I'm sure the pod uploaded her memories into A2's data, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, so now A2 has kind of a small identity crisis, right? Am I 2B or am I A2? It's not super big. It's not really relevant to the plot, right?
But could that be why she sliced her hair?
Probably. I think so.
Yeah.
But if you're like me, you immediately equipped the A2 wig because you liked her blonde hair more.
There's an A2 wig?
Yeah, if you didn't like how she looked with short hair, you could equip the A2 wig, which I did immediately.
I'll do that next time, I guess. The following segment was re-recorded 1 week after our initial discussion, which originally ran about 2 hours in length. However, it only recorded an hour of Jackson for whatever reason. I find it kind of funny, though, because we're talking about a game where you have to replay and redo some of the things in order to learn the full story. So, in that way, it's an interesting parallel that we had to re-record something about a game that likes you to replay it for more context and thought. But anyway, Enjoy.
All right, so become as gods. So this part's important. We forgot it.
Yes.
So
Become as gods.
that's cool. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this is back on 2B's story.
Yeah.
So as we were mentioning earlier, there's a lot of like philosophers, right? And they meet their conclusions somehow. So in the machine factory, this is kind of like after the forest, before your fight with Eve. So you go to the factory, and you go to the factory because Pascal says, hey, there's some machines that have also separated themselves from the network, and we want to go talk to them and make friends with them possibly, or set up a trade route or something. Can you escort us to B? And you're like, yeah, why not, right?
Why not?
So you go to the factory, and machines seem all friendly, but they're all wearing like cultist like robes, like some sort of like religious attire. Maybe not necessarily cultist, but you make your way down to the basement of the factory, and smooth sailing, no one's attacking you. All the robots seem friendly, and you run into the probably the cult leader, and he is wearing like basically Pope robes.
Big
right?
old Pope hat.
Yeah, and I can't remember. I don't know if this robot had a name or not, or if I just can't remember it.
I know what his name was.
You do know what his name was?
Our wondrous grace has become a god.
His name was
Yeah,
Wondrous
so
Grace.
Wondrous Grace. So yeah, he basically tells the robots that if they die, they will become as gods, just like humans, right? Or their alien creator, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
then they start blasting.
They start blasting, but not just you, but mainly themselves.
Yep.
And all those who are unworthy, I guess, run away and cower, right? But they'll hunt down, and the extremists, the zealots, they'll hunt down and find anyone is too afraid to kill themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is a logical conclusion to essentially religion, right? And religious philosophy, and I can't remember which philosopher came up with this idea, but the expectations being subverted is that they all kill themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you would expect them to reach enlightenment through like good deeds or whatever, but instead they came to the conclusion that they reach enlightenment by, well, annihilating each other, right?
Exactly.
When you escape, it's quite like scary. You run into 9S, who has hacked a robot from the bunker, and he's like, whoa, don't kill me, I'm on your side. And he leads you out of the factory, because the factory's been changed, sort of. You haven't been this deep into the factory as 2B before. Or as 9S, actually. This is the first time you've been in deep the factory. And you fight the first round Goliath, Bokoshi. Yeah, and you fight him in kind of a cool boss fight. It's like all dark and stuff. But yeah, they're still chanting "Become as gods" the entire time.
The music is ramping up.
It's really kind of scary, actually.
Yeah, it is pretty terrifying. I don't remember the boss being super difficult, though.
No, he was really easy. Because all he really does is like shoot waves at you, and I think he had like some like EMP shield, like the Colossus did, or the Kaiju did. But you just wait for 9S to do his thing, and it's taken care of, right? Something that I think is kind of cool in that boss fight that I want to mention is that like there's like these cages of like robots around him, and they're like zombified, actually. Like one of them is. I don't know if you caught that. I caught that on like my second playthrough. That one of the robots was zombified. So I think that leads to what happens to the amusement park.
Oh.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's kind of the importance of like the factory, and that's why it needs to be talked about because so you go to the desert, or you wake up in the desert, right? As A2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she just got the sword from 2B, and she's like, "Who am I? I'm gonna cut my hair and then put on a wig so I look cool again."
Yeah, so she heads to the desert, and because Pod 0420 is on her case about having a prime directive, essentially.
Shut up. Shut up. Do you ever shut up?
I love that. And it's like every 30 seconds, he's like, please state your primary objective. Like, so you go to the desert because there's a large Goliath-class machine out there for A2 to face. And essentially the point of this boss fight is to learn the mechanics of A2, which are extremely similar to 2B. Right? Mm-hmm. There's like two differences that are of note. The first is self-destruct function is gone. It has been replaced by B mode, which is Berserker mode.
Berserker. Did you end up using Berserker a lot? I feel like in my playthrough, I didn't find a lot of opportunities to use it, and I think it's because
it has that wind up.
Yeah, it has the wind up, and then wasn't there like a downside, like you could take more damage or it would remove health?
Yeah, so you would take more damage, and then after a set amount of time, it functioned like self-destruct, where it would put your HP up 1.
Yeah.
So you had to like heal like immediately after using it.
I was very scared to use.
I used it like on a couple of fights, but the payoff like wasn't worth it a lot of the times. Like, I think I used it during, like, the final boss, and a couple times during the Hegel fight, which is the name of that centipede bot, but A2 fights in the desert.
Yeah.
The one that teaches the mechanics of it, but I think that's, like, really the only time I ever used it. Maybe we're just dumb, and someone's really pro at using that, or there's, like, a chipset build specifically for Berserk mode that neither of us knew about.
Yeah, maybe.
But A2 wakes up because her fuel filter is, like she passes out, right, from the fight.
Yeah. I think she got sand in it or something.
Yeah, it was damaged during the fight, so it's like full of sand and stuff. And if you know anything about like basic machinery, having a fuel filter be dirty is like really bad. Which makes me wonder the logistics of these androids, honestly, that I've never thought about until now. Like, what do they use for fuel?
Yeah, we never see them fuel up or anything.
Yeah, like they have like trade posts and stuff. Right, so clearly they need resources to survive.
And I'm pretty sure, like at one point, it's like they're even eating. Like they don't need to eat.
Yeah, I remember that.
So they can't they don't eat food for pleasure. So maybe they can eat food for fuel. Who knows?
Probably.
What a question.
I wonder if when they mean fuel filter, they mean like essentially a stomach, right?
Oh yeah.
Because they're modeled after humans, but I digress.
An interesting thought, nonetheless.
Yeah, so they so her pod 042 says, "Hey, you should probably get that fixed before more damage is done to you than it already has been. You should head to the resistance camp, right?" And she says, "Fine," begrudgingly, because A2 is kind of a loner. Anyway, makes her way there, and in front of the resistance camp is a familiar face, Pascal. And Pascal, A2 can kind of remember him from 2B, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, I hate machines, and I want to kill you, basically is what she says. And Pascal's like, well, if you must kill me, go right ahead, right?
And you can, for a unique ending.
You can, yeah, if you kill Pascal, the game ends right there. It's one of the many endings of the game because you can't get your filter fixed and it's presumed you die.
Yeah.
So I love that this game does that.
A2 destroyed Pascal. Pascal's death led to the collapse of his village and its residents going out of control, resulting in the elimination of all androids on Earth.
Not that there's much of them left. Oh, the other mechanic we forgot about. Maybe I've already went over this, but yeah, there's no more bunker, right? So when you die, like, it's a game over now. Like, you don't just warp back to the nearest, like, save point, and there's your body. It sends you back to the screen, like the title screen, and it doesn't save your data, so wherever you save, that's where you reload from. But yeah, so those are like the two major new mechanics about the bunker being destroyed and playing A2.
Which is a cool mechanic.
Yeah, I like that it changes it.
Narratively makes sense, and in world it makes sense.
Yeah, so you can choose not to kill Pascal, and if you do, he just says like, thanks, and then flies away, right?
Yep.
Pascal sounds a lot like a kid, which I always thought was kind of funny. And then go into the resource camp, or the resistance camp. Anemone. It's like Finding Nemo.
Anemone. Yeah.
Yeah. She is surprised to see A2, and she actually kind of reminisces about herself in A2 back how things used to be, which makes you wonder, like, was Anemone once upon a time an attacker android?
Yeah. I think at one point she tells 2B and 9S, like, hey, if you guys ever see this android out there, there's like a passing reference to A2.
I wouldn't doubt it, because A2 isn't met into, like, for being a deserter, like, she isn't met with malice in the resistance camp, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's met with open arms. Everyone's like excited to see her back, which I thought was kind of cool, because it's like, hey, this character was once upon a time a Yorha member. An enemy tells you, yeah, we can fix your fuel filter, but we don't have the materials to do it. In fact, your homie Pascal's got them, so you need to do something for Pascal and he'll fix you right up.
You're like, dang it, he just flew away.
He just bailed. So you go to Pascal's village, and he wants you to do a couple side quests for him to get the materials, right? So it's your basic MMO fetch quest.
Yeah.
Once you do those, he'll fix you right up. And at this point, he asks a favor of you, which is like, he's like, hey, there's some machines going rampant. I might be getting ahead of myself, but I think this is the part.
The part with the factory. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, they have to leave the village because the amusement park robots are being unfriendly, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, we gotta leave, so can you come with us to the amusement park or to the factory and clear a way for us to make sure we can set up a new camp? A2's like, well, you help me, I'll help you, right? That's what friends are for, which is a big step forward for A2, because A2 doesn't, the whole game, she's been a loner, so the fact that she'll do something for, the fact that she's friendly to Pascal is awesome, right? You head over to the factory, and remaining robots are cowering, and they're Pascal's children. She calls them he calls them the little robots. They act like her kids, right? So when you head over to the factory, it's under attack by an entire fleet of robots. So you go out to defend them, and there's Goliath-class tanks, Goliath-class Engels, the big factory-looking ones, but Engels that's that one robot's actual name. I don't know what the Colossus ones are called, but the ones that have saw arms.
Big saw
right?
arms, the Gundam factory.
Yeah,
Gundams.
The Gundam ones, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's tons of these robots, and there's no way you'd be able to fight them off, right? Pascal shows up, hacks one of the Colossus robots, and essentially dispatches all of them for you. You bought Pascal enough time to be able to hack one of these robots, right? And it's like, hooray! We saved the day, right? Let's go tell the children the good news, right?
Yeah.
They don't need to worry anymore. And this is where this game takes a lot of dark turns. But this is one of the worst ones, in my opinion, because you open the door. I kind of broke the mood a bit. But you open the door, and inside you see not the robots, but the corpses of the robots. They all killed themselves because they were afraid.
Pascal taught them to be afraid.
Pascal was earlier in the game. Pascal was reading a book, and this is a book from a famous Danish philosopher whose name escapes me. I'm sorry. In it talks about fear of God, essentially, right? And this is another subversion of philosophy, because if you've ever taken an advanced algebra class, you've heard the name Pascal before. It probably sounds familiar to you somehow, right? And that's because Pascal was a mathematician and a theologian. Theologians are essentially like theologists, but they're biased towards God, right? And there's this pretty famous theory of like existence that Pascal has, and it's called Pascal's wager. Essentially, the equation is like x plus infinity equals -1 or -1, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you solve for x being like the existence of God, right? So I guess x equals infinity plus 1 or infinity minus 1. So if God exists and you lived a good life, right? You've gained infinitely, right? You'll go to heaven, whatever, right? Like, I shouldn't say whatever. You'll go to heaven. Yeah, you'll go to heaven. You'll be rewarded handsomely for, being a good person, right? If you're a pretty bad person and, God does exist, well, guess what? Infinite loss, right? You're damned to hell. However, if x is, I think, 0, and I might be... Now, it's essentially being God doesn't exist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you lived your life being a good guy, right? But if God doesn't exist and you acted like God doesn't exist, this is in the context of Pascal, by the way, just a reminder, you just lived a bad life, right? So, the wager is basically live a good life, no matter what. Like, just act like God's real, even if you don't think it is.
Because you have everything to gain if he is real.
Yeah, and nothing to lose, right? Or a lot to lose, but even if he doesn't exist, nothing to lose, essentially, for being a good person.
Yeah.
But there's a problem with this, right? And this line of thinking is based on fear. It's fear of God existing. It's fear that you'll be a bad person, right? So these robots were afraid of the future, afraid of what might happen to them, and instead of seeing it through, they chose to take their own lives, because in their minds, whatever awaited for them at the end of this ordeal was surely more merciful, or dying was surely more merciful than that unknown. So that's kind of Yoko Taro's take on Pascal's wager, essentially. Whether you agree with that or not, I don't know. I love that he does this in this game. He just takes philosophies and turns them on their head. It's really cool.
Yeah, it makes you think about it.
Yeah,
he'll kind of be surface level with it and be like, hey, here's this idea, and you'll be like, okay, cool. And then he'll kind of push it a little bit further and be like, okay, so what do you really think about it?
Yeah,
I think it's cool how he presses you to think.
And then on top of that, Pascal, he turns to you, Pascal the robot. He turns to you and he says, I can't live with myself like this. My children are gone, right?
And it's all my fault.
It's all my fault. I should have never taught them fear. Ignorance is bliss, essentially, is what Pascal is saying right now. So, I need you to do something for me, A2. One last thing is, my friend. I need you to either hack my memories and wipe everything so I can forget this pain, or you can kill me. I chose to hack Pascal. Did you also hack Pascal? Or
I might have killed Pascal. So I was like, either way, the Pascal that we know is gonna die. It's kind of weird, and maybe I did choose to hack, but I think the outcome is almost the same.
I think mechanically, it's the same. You never see Pascal again in the game, right? But theoretically, if you hack Pascal, I think that's the worst possible outcome for Pascal, because you're essentially ripping out his soul.
Yeah.
And he's no longer him. He's just another one of those mindless robots that wanders around trying to emulate human behavior based on philosophy books found in their database, right?
Yeah.
Now, that's kind of morbid. And if you kill him, at least the Pascal you knew he was there. Like, I guess it's kind of like, I don't know if I want to make this comparison or not, because it's really morbid, but like Alzheimer's, I guess.
That's
like,
exactly what I was thinking about.
Yeah. It's like, I've never experienced someone in my family having Alzheimer's, so if you had, like, my condolences, and this is not meant as an attack or anything. But I can only imagine how hard that is to, like, especially if it was someone like your mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, someone you grew up with, and it was like, oh man. And then they just don't even recognize you anymore. It's like they're a completely different person.
It's tough stuff, man.
Yeah. And I'm not saying dying is a better alternative to Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Because that's, it's just one of those, like, hard situations that makes you think, right?
It almost feels like a trolley problem. Like, either way, something is going to die. You know, somebody's going to die. It's kind of up to the person to decide what they think might be right. It's one of those ethics questions. What is really the right answer? I don't know if there is one.
Well,
But,
so after this, you, with a heavy heart, after doing whatever it was you did to deciding to do to Pascal, you leave. And when you exit the machine factory, you're kind of lost, because it's like there's no Pod 042 doesn't chime in and tell you where to go next. You just kind of leave, right? But then I think after a while of wandering, you finally, like, pick up 9S's signal.
And he's at the spires.
Yeah, he's at one of these resource generator units. And I think, if I remember correctly, it's the
ocean one.
Actually, you know what? I think now's a good time to talk about 9S, because this is kind of when their stories collide.
It's the collisions.
So let's talk about 9S. Like,
he just fell into the ravine. You know, he's like, I gotta kill E2. I gotta kill her. But he wakes up in the resistance camp, and you got Devila and Popla, and they're like, hey, dude, there's no more bunker, but, you know, we patched you up with what we had.
We're medics. We can help you out.
Yeah.
Right? And so 9S, when he exits the resistance camp, he's having a bad day. He just fell off a cliff.
Worst day.
The girl he loved just died. You know, all been there, fellas.
All been there. We ever fell off a cliff and your girlfriend dies?
Yeah. So he asks his pod, I believe it's 219, one last time, run a scan for 2B's black box signal. And it reports none found, right? So, hey, there's this big tower in the middle of the city. Probably should go check it out, 9S says.
Yeah.
And so, I don't think he says it like that, but, you know.
That's what he does next, anyway.
Yeah, so he goes to this tower in this center, and when you try to get into it, the most annoying voice greets you. It's like one of those customer service robots, and it's just like, hello, you need all 4 credentials to enter the tower. Have a great day, right? And it's probably the last thing anyone wants to hear when their girlfriend has just died.
Customer service
Robot. Disingenuous, fake happy robot, right? No one wants to hear that.
Not a soul.
It informs you essentially about the resource gathering units, which are these little towers that fly all over the place, and they do just that, they collect resources.
They just started cropping up.
They just started showing up. Yeah, there's 4 of them, maybe 3. But regardless, so 9S, he goes to, you can pick any one of these. No, you can't. So the first one he goes to,
the meat box,
and I believe the meat box is in the forest, right? Yeah. So when you go to the meat box, you go there and you just kind of like fight robots. It feels like your generic, like, you know, gameplay so far, nothing special, but it is kind of weird that these things are just kind of hanging around. And you see them when you travel around with A2, but you can never, they're too high up in the air, you can never get inside them, right? So it's presumed that when you're A2 and you're like, hey, where's 9S? You might be thinking to yourself, well, he's probably inside one of these things. and his black box signal is like masked or something that's inside of these.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of these resource generators gives out lots and lots of information through expository means, right? Which, you know, show, don't tell in my opinion, but hey, it works.
Isn't it like supposed to be like you hack in and you get the notes?
Well, so you learn there's like this database, right? That has been on the bunker and it's now in the machine's programming, right? Or I guess cloud storage.
Probably from when they hacked
the bunker, yeah. So, and I think the first one you learn about is the Gestalt program.
Right.
And you learn about a girl named Yona. And Yona was the first human to ever have her soul removed from her body and placed into a replicant. That's important for those who played NIER Replicant or NIER Gestalt. We'll probably be doing an episode on that later.
Absolutely.
But you're just like, oh wait, the Gestalt program. It's like the first time you read about it, right? And it's kind of like, oh, okay, I guess this is cool. Basically, the point of the Gestalt program was for humans to essentially become immortal. They can rip their souls out of their bodies and put it into new bodies.
It reminds me a lot of, I don't know if you've played a lot of Destiny 2, but it reminds me a lot of the EXO program.
No, I haven't.
It's kind of a similar thing. But anyway, I digress.
So you learn about that, and then when you exit, you get a key. Then you can go back to the tower and turn on one of these little thingy-mabobs. There's like around the tower, like 4 like smaller towers, and they look like, to be frank, ridiculous. Like,
yeah, they're like almost tentacle-like.
Yeah, one's really tall and skinny, the other's like short and fat, and then the other's kind of like loopy guy. Like, they look kind of cool but stupid at the same time. Which is the best kind of cool, right?
Oh yeah.
So then you head to the next box, and I believe this is like the human box?
Soul box.
Soul box, okay. And when you go to the soul box, you know what? I think this is the one in the castle, because the boss is like that or is like the knight guy.
Knight.
And this box, I think you learn that machines and androids, both like a machine core and an android black box, are essentially the same thing. Aliens reverse engineered the androids and made machines, and the machine core and the black box are the same. And this blows 9S away. That should blow you away too. Because the black because the black box is essentially the machine's heart, right? And so when you learn that internally androids and machines are the same, that kind of like makes 9S go like, no, there's no way that's possible, right? Like, we were built by humans, we're perfect, right? Like,
yeah.
The fact that these stupid machines are essentially the same, like, how could this be?
Yeah, I think that adds a lot of like interesting thoughts to the rhetoric of the game. Like, you're fighting a proxy war for people that don't exist anymore, and the two factions are essentially the same internally, you know? There's a lot of human things you could say about that.
Yeah, it's kind of like a soft narrative of racism. Like, we're all the same on the inside, guys. Just because, like, we look different doesn't mean we should be doing horrible atrocities to each other.
Yeah.
Like, but like I said, soft racism. That issue's way deeper than what I'd like to get into on a video game podcast. Yeah, it makes 9S go like, hold on, like, we're the same, but 9S still has hatred for these machines because they essentially killed his girlfriend, or at least the girl he loved, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's that logic virus, all his friends are all gone, right? Something else happens in, I believe, the soul box that we're in right now. 9S enters a hacking space, and in it, He's not in like his little like drone thing that you're in hacking. It's him. He's standing there, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has a sword equipped, and there's like this black mass, and it starts like it shows all of 9S's memories with 2B, and it starts erasing them, right? And it has like the same like it has like a vaguely humanoid shape, and you know 9S is saying like, no, please stop, not my memories, like, you know, justifiably so.
Yeah.
Like, so he draws his, you know, hacking sword, I guess. You ever say things and realize like, oh, I just said that? Like, it's like a sword that's like made out of like hacking material, data, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so he runs up to the robot and he starts like crying and stabbing it, and he says, "Stop, please stop!" Like he's begging it to stop. Like, and then the camera cuts to 9S, like teary-eyed, right? And then it cuts down to the mass, and the mass no longer is a mass; it is 2B. And 9S is, after a while, he finally stops when he realizes he's stabbing 2B, and he begins to cry more so than he already is.
What a bad
and then
day.
his cries. Yeah, bad day, right?
You ever stab the memories of your girlfriend in the form of her body? Terrible day.
Yeah, it's kind of. We all been there, right, fellas?
Yeah.
And then his cries turn to laughter, and then it cuts away. And it would cut away at A2 at this point, but we already did all of A2.
Mm-hmm.
So then you head to the next box, the God box. It's giving you all the information you need for 2B or for A2 or 9S to essentially start hating everything.
Yeah.
But okay, so when you reach the top of the God box, you fight a machine named August. I want to rewind you for a second, you the listener. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
He's doing the rewind.
Yeah, I want you to close your eyes and remember when I said the very beginning of 9S's campaign, how he's sitting on the factory like catwalk, and he's like, there's like two robots, one got oil for the other, and 9S like, no matter how much oil you give him, little guy, it won't bring your brother back to life. 9S is wrong, because this robot is that big brother, presumably.
Oh, is it really? You're blowing.
I think so.
Blowing my mind. Okay.
I think so, and that's because when you fight August, he's got other small robots climb all over him, and they all call him Big Brother in the same voice as that little robot from before.
Oh.
So that's what makes me think that's the same robot. And like, this robot came back to life somehow.
Makes sense.
But, yeah, so that's what I think, right? I could be off, but anyway, so this is either in the same resource box or a different one, and I can't remember what one. But 9S has to fight, arguably, probably one of the worst people he could ever face, right? And that person is trusty operator 210.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you remember correctly, as 9S has been traveling around, he's been kind of he's upbeat, he's pretty optimistic, but
he hates doing work.
Yeah, he hates working. All he wants to do is like have fun, essentially,
go
right?
on dates with girls.
Yeah, because that's what he says. Like, that's all he talks about, right? When they go to the mall, he's like, "Oh, hey, 2B, after this is over, you want to go to the mall? Like, we could go to this mall and I could buy you something, right?" Now, 9S had these same pseudo interactions. He wasn't nearly as flirty with 210.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, he was. Operator 210 would call in one time and congratulate him. And he would say, "Well, I really couldn't have done without you, operator. You're so beautiful and smart and helpful." And she's like,
Yeah, whatever.
Enough chit chat, and basically, boop, hangs up the call, right? And she's like this all the time to 9S, right? But you can tell 9S likes her, at least as a friend.
Yeah.
Like, but she is so, like, robotic in her in her interactions with 9S. But 9S is like, no, please, I don't want to fight you, to like 210, right? Well, 9S has been doing a lot of things he doesn't want to do.
Yep.
And the game is, Yoko Taro is trying to actively make you feel sympathy for 9S, because boy howdy are you gonna need it. But yeah, so he kills 210, and justifiably so. He's pretty sad that he had to kill 210. But at this point, and I think going back to August, this is when A2 finally shows her face, and 9S has gotten the resource code in his fight against August, and he's just like, I'm out of here, and runs away. I'll deal with you later, A2, right?
Yeah.
And he leaves A2 to fight August, and A2's like, I fight robots all day. Right?
This is my job.
This is what I was made for, like, quite literally. She dispatches August after a kind of cool boss fight, because the robots keep chanting like big brother the whole time.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump back to 9S, because 9S gets to the tower first.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets to the tower, he unlocks all the codes, and he begins hacking the door open, and the tower's defense system starts activating. It calls basically every local robot on the network to him, right?
Uh-oh.
And, there's... As the player, you see the hacking meter and how slowly it goes up, and how many enemies are dropping, and you're like,
not possible.
this is not possible. There's no way you can open this door before you die, right? And who should come to 9S's rescue than none other than the twins, Devil and Popola.
They had a score to settle with themselves.
Yeah, with themselves. So we haven't mentioned it yet, and I guess now's a good time. But so Devil and Popola are pretty important characters, even though they're kind of only really in the game for basically this part.
Yep.
It was pretty emotional for me, because
Mm-hmm.
it's like you see these two robots who are not combat units, mind you. They're just as bad as fighting as 9S is.
Yeah.
But you see them off in the distance fighting the machines while you're sitting there hacking. You want to help them, but they tell you, leave it to us, we'll take care of this. And it's playing a song, if you've played any other NIER game, Song of the Ancients. And Song of the Ancients is the song that Devil and Popola would sing in previous games, but that's another podcast episode. So they fight off the robots, they help you inside, and when I say they help you inside, they quite literally throw you in. Like, because 9S turns to help them at one point, and in the cutscene they said, no, we're atoning for our sins. And you're just like, what does that even mean? Like, what do you guys are medical robots. What sins could you possibly have, right?
You're helping me out right now. What is this?
Yeah. So they throw you in the tower, and then you get a text-to-adventure game, because Yoko Taro loves to change up the gameplay a lot.
Yeah, he does.
And this text-adventure game is more or less like a visual novel without the visuals.
Yeah, I would agree.
You just get like backgrounds, and it talks about Devil and Popola and the past, of like what happened to them in the past, right?
And not even necessarily them, but their model of Yorha unit.
Yeah, so Devil and Popola were medical bots, all of them, or medical androids, and their jobs were, to make sure all the attacker models, scanner models, operators, all of them were in perfect running form, right? So, but what happened was they were essentially tired of like, or maybe not tired, but they went haywire at some point, and they started attacking their patients rather than helping them, right? And so they were essentially exiled. And the two that we know of as Devil and Popola are wandering through the desert. Their systems are failing. They don't have any way to fix themselves. And they think they're going to die. And it essentially tells that story of them walking through the desert and about to die, right? I guess if you care about the narrative, it's pretty emotional. If you don't care, which I mean, I don't know how you could be this far in the game and not care.
Yeah.
Right. But it's just kind of like, it describes in detail how like they're bleeding. Like they use like oil instead of blood, right? But you get the idea. It's like, oh no, they're bleeding out. Like, but they somehow make it to safety and patch themselves up, right? And then they're good to go for whoever they might need to help. But their way of atoning for their sins is to sacrifice themselves for 9S's sake.
Yeah. That almost could be a commentary on the Christian ideology of the sins of the father, you know?
Yeah.
Because even though they might not have necessarily completely contributed, but they felt that burden of what their models did, that they had to atone for it.
Yeah. Going back to A2. Oh, 9S climbs the tower a little bit. And what he finds in the tower is
ghastly.
Yeah, I guess we should go over this because it would cover this and then go to 9 or A2. So 9S climbs the tower, and again there's that stupid customer service robot that like thanks 9S for entering the tower and have a great day, right?
Yeah.
So when you enter the tower, it looks almost exactly like the copied city, and it is huge. Like, you could be standing on a platform, and it looks like endless space. If you look out to like one of the sides, like it's just gray, and it looks like there's like you could see the sun through it, which is kind of cool. Now, why they chose to do this, or Yoko Taro chose this, I don't know, but it makes it feel. Actually, you know, maybe this is why. It feels otherworldly. Yeah. Like, the music is very mystic. It's very pretty. I want to gush about the soundtrack a little bit here.
All right,
the soundtrack for this game is insane.
Keiichi Okabe, baby.
Yeah, I use it all the time in my Dungeons and Dragons campaigns when I DM. It is so good. But I digress.
So I was watching this skill up video, and here's something I didn't know that maybe you did. But each track is actually broken down into a low, a mid, and a high intensity.
Yes.
Like version. So you could be just walking around the amusement park, and you're just getting the plinks and the plonks of the xylophone, you know, and then your
combat will change a little bit,
and then you'll be in a boss fight, and it'll be like ultimate crescendo. You got the voices of the choir coming in.
Yeah. Also, I think once the tower shows up, I think the low tracks are removed from the game.
Oh, really?
Or at least it changes the track to the city ruins to be medium all the time. It's never low tracks anymore.
And the other thing I did appreciate about it that was mind-boggling to me was how you could be hacking and it would seamlessly transfer from the current song into an 8-bit version of the song for hacking.
Yeah, and those 8-bit versions slap.
Those slap so hard, dude. They're so good.
Yeah. Like, the whole soundtrack slaps.
Yep.
You know, it's a lot of, like, godly music. It's very, like, orchestral, but, like, there's a little bit of, like, EDM in there, but it's, like, mixed together, and it's very unique, its soundtrack. Yeah. They mix a lot of like orchestral and like electronics and stuff. It sounds very cool.
God tier stuff. God tier.
Yeah. But you get inside the tower, and when you climb the tower, it's like kind of basic stuff. Like you're just like, oh, I gotta get to the top of the tower so I can. Oh, we did forget something. One of the boxes you head to, if 9S, he learns that the tower is a cannon. It's meant to shoot some sort of projectile.
Oh,
so
right.
he assumes it's a cannon that is armed to fire at the bunker, but the bunker no longer exists, right? So the whole reason why he's in this tower is essentially like to figure out what this tower is, and he assumes that basically if he can destroy the tower, he can destroy the machine network, because he knows it's inside the tower somewhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Turn the weapon against itself, the supposed weapon.
Yeah, and that would lead to the ultimate destruction of the machines, right? But oh 9S, how naive you are, because even though you're a scanner unit, you forget one thing. The machine network and the android network are now one and the same at this point in the game.
Yeah.
So when he gets to the first major floor in the tower, who should descend upon him to attack him? None other than, well, a whole bunch of 2B models.
Terrible day.
Yeah, apps just, this, every time you think like 9S's day could get any worse, like it does. Like
every time.
It's like every time, yeah. Also, the entire time 9S is traveling around, he hasn't taken any breaks. He hasn't stopped for like repairs, except for once maybe. And Pod 219 is very concerned for his health at this point. He's like, she's like, proposal, you should really take a break, dude. Like,
yep.
And he's like, I'll take a break when I'm dead. Like edgy anime stuff, right?
Yep, exactly.
But at this point, I think 9S is so jaded that he doesn't care about himself anymore.
No.
And when the 2Bs descend on him, he does a mixture of like, he's shocked, he laughs, and then he says, I'll take you all out at once, right? And he draws his sword, and this is where you learn that 9S, and probably the scanner models as a whole, are, I guess maybe you've already been clued on this, are easily Yorha's best units. Because hacking and forcing people to self-destruct is incredible, right? And that's essentially how you need to beat this fight, because you can't fight them, because there's like dozens of them.
Yeah.
Like, basically any 2B bodies they had in reserve for 2B, all of them have descended upon 9S, right? They all have machine consciousness, they don't speak, they have generic android voices when they get hurt. One of them grabs 9S and self-destructs, essentially, right at the end of the fight.
Destroys his arm.
You can see his circuitry's like running rampant, he's bleeding. At this point in the game, actually a little bit earlier, like kind of like at the end of 2B's story, the androids no longer bleed oil. It looks like blood, it's red. And same with like some machines, like Adam and Eve, right? Like they bleed blood, which is kind of interesting, but
yeah.
So he takes a leftover arm from one of the 2B models and he attaches it to himself. And I don't even know what that does to someone. Because it's like, your girlfriend died. You killed her hundreds of times, or dozens of times now.
Including in your mind.
In your minds, right? Even though his memories of her are presumed to be mostly gone, he still clearly cares about her. Like, something in his mind is like, I still love this girl, right?
Yeah.
And so now he looks down at this arm that's not his, it's his girlfriend's, and it's like, or girl he loves. Like, I guess you could say girlfriend, but yeah, it's like, oh, no. You're right. And it's also hinted at that 9S has a logic virus of some kind.
Yeah.
Like, going through those resource towers have screwed up the algorithm that is his processing, right? And he has some sort of logic virus, right? Not the same one that eradicated the machine or the android forces, but something probably just as potent, if not more so, right? Mm-hmm. So then it cuts to A2, and A2 finishes killing a Gust, and she just kind of walks right into the tower. There's no more machines defending it.
Yeah.
And when you open the door, sitting there is, I believe, Devila.
Mm-hmm.
Popla's nowhere to be found, right? And A2 doesn't say anything to her. You can if you want to, but she doesn't. She just goes like dying, right?
Dying noises.
And yeah, when you walk past her, Devila's like, "You're A2, right? 9S is somewhere in the tower," and you just like got it and walk off because A2 is cool. So when you head into the tower of A2, most of the forces you go to fight have been wiped out, and that's because 9S got there first, right? But something of note, when you get into the tower with A2, you enter a room that looks like a library hall. There's lots of books. The books are all made out of silicone. Everything's made out of silicone. The same stuff and quartz. Everything that it was in the city, the fake city, right? You learn a whole bunch of information as A2, but they kind of cut it out for the last surprise of the game. Like, you learn that there's another name for 2B, and it like censors it so you can't see.
Yep.
Then you're descended upon a white robot, and this white robot's name is Roshi, right? Roshi. You fight it and it escapes, and then you need to go and, well, hunt it down, because you think that thing might know where 9S is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, A2 hates machines, so she's going to kill the machines. So keep in mind, A2 and 9S, they have the same goal, essentially, which is to kill the machines, but they have different secondary goals. A2's secondary goal is to save 9S and keep him safe, and 9S's secondary goal is to kill all androids. And at this point, it's basically just the people in the resistance camp, A2 and 9S, but really, he's more concerned about killing A2 than anyone else.
Yep.
9S continues to move up the tower. He never entered this library space that A2 entered in. Instead, he finds himself in an area with a whole bunch of, like, it looks like a flight deck, like from like an Air Force or an aircraft carrier, kind of. It's very flat and long.
It's got
right?
all those flight units on it.
Yeah, but they're all being piloted by androids, and you take care of that. And before you hop on one of these flight units, this girl in a red dress, this lolly, shows up, and it's got a very deep voice. It sounds like an old man.
Beware who you meet online, folks.
Yeah, guys, you know. But it reveals itself as kind of essentially like the will of the machines. That is the machine network personified, the red girl, right? And it tells 9S that the whole reason why androids and machines have been fighting is not a proxy war. It's because the machines, they've been smart for a while. They've had all these philosophy books, like, injected into their protocol, and they've made themselves kind of dumb on purpose, because what they're doing, the machines, is they're taking these philosophy books and they're acting out like what they think is their interpretation of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's been happening the whole game with Pascal, with Simone, with, you know, all of these John Paul, like
the race robot, the one contemplating existence, the parade guy, all these dudes.
Yeah. So you're like, whoa, wait, what? And it's like the whole reason why is because androids essentially exist for the evolution of machine life forms. By creating something that they could fight against, the self-improving AI would always have something to like fight until they become essentially human, right? Mm-hmm. Androids were modeled after their humans, and logically, what's better than something that's almost human? A human, right?
Yep.
Which, hey, we've seen two very human-esque bots before, Adam and Eve, right? And you're like, well, 9S refuses to believe that's possible. And the only way for this to stop at this point is if 9S completely eradicates everything, right? That will end the cycle, in his opinion. Because they've been in a perpetual war for, like, essentially, I think, thousands of years at this point.
Yeah.
So 9S is like, well, if I can eliminate androids or machines, no more fighting. We're done forever. So then he fights these androids in the flight units. He acquires one, and he figures, well, the fastest way to the top of the tower is in a jet, because obviously.
Yep. Zoom.
And on his way to the top of the tower, he runs into a black round robot similar to Roshi, only this one is named Koshi, right? Mm-hmm. Now, A2 ascends the tower more. And A2 gets hacked, I believe, or she hacks something. She gets in hacking space by either hacking or getting hacked. And she also meets the will of the machines, right? The red girl. And as she tries to fight them, they keep multiplying, right? So she's like, I'm gonna die. They keep multiplying. No matter how much, if I kill one, two more takes its place. And Pod 042 comes up with an idea, and he says, proposal, stop attacking, right? And you as the player and as A2 are probably like, what?
It's kind of stupid.
Yeah, and he's like, letting the machines letting the AI perpetually reproduce or copy itself will cause a logic virus to happen. So you're like, oh, that makes sense, I think. You're not really sure what he means by that.
No, I wasn't.
And every time you attack one of these robots, or every one of these like projections of humanity's or machine's will, it's your pod insists, like, please stop attacking, right? So eventually you do it, and this fight can be made trivial with the pod program, because all they do is shoot like projectiles.
Yeah. And
there's the pod program that creates the projectile shield, so it can be rendered pretty trivial if you have that equipped.
And if you're smart enough to equip it, unlike me. I just kept pushing dodge and like, oh man, give me those iframes. I need to get through this.
I equipped 9S's chipset because on my chipset for 9S I had the like slow down projectiles thing, and then yeah, so it's like projectiles are moving slow, and I had the shield for it. So because that would happen a lot every time I played 9S, I'd enter hacking space, and then projectiles would hit me as soon as I came out. Mm-hmm. So I equipped the slow one so I could dodge out of the way immediately after exiting hacking space.
Smart.
Yeah, and so when this happens, they come up with two different ideas, right? One thinks that they should destroy the androids because their use is no longer needed, and the other thinks, well, if we keep them around, they can continue to evolve, essentially, right? And so that creates a logic virus inside the machine network. Now you have two factions of machines fighting each other. And this is reflected in Roshi and Koshi's color. They're black and white. Mm-hmm. A2 ascends the tower fighting Koshi. 9S ascends the tower fighting Roshi, right? Or no. I think it's the other way around. I think 9S fights the black... Yeah, that's right. Yeah. 9S fights the black one, and A2 fights the white one, right? And eventually... music swelling, boss is cool. 9S's fight is essentially a bullet hell game. It's a shooter game.
Yeah, inside
because you're in the flight unit.
Yep.
And A2 is, that sweet Devil May Cry Bayonetta gameplay you've had. So much fun. And eventually, All 4 combatants reach the top of the tower together. Roshi and Kyoshi combine forces, and it looks like a kind of giant pair of like testicles, but whatever. Like it's just 2 balls slapped together. Oh, I'm a 5th grader.
Just slapped together.
And 9S and A2 look at each other. They don't say anything, but you know what they're thinking. Like, let's take care of these guys first. We'll take care of each other afterward, right? Boss fight's kind of hard, and it's cool because it switches between 9S and A2, like, throughout the fight swiftly. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Cool boss fight. The music, once again, very good.
Indeed.
You take care of the boss by A2 slashes it in half, and 9S shoots 2 big laser beams at it and blows up. Oh man, this is it, man. This is near the end.
Yeah.
9S and A2 face each other. 9S essentially tells A2, like, you've taken everything from me. He says, I figured out the truth, A2. Like, we're meant to die. We're designed to end. We exist solely to perish. Isn't that funny? Doesn't that make you laugh? And, you know, just when you thought 9S's day couldn't get any worse. 9S knew this the entire time, but you as the player was never presented to it. And I think that's because Yoko Taro wanted 9S in this moment to be smarter than us, the player. And you kind of figured something was wrong when you were playing as A2. And if you've been paying attention to the little things of history you've been given. And A2 tells 9S, you've known it all along. You scanner units, you were designed to know this, but you chose to forget it. Your HUD model 2B is just a front. Its actual protocol is your HUD model 2E, Executioner Type 2. Its sole purpose is to destroy other Yorha units. And it flashes back to all the times 9S has been killed by 2B. And originally, when you played the game, these ideas came from 9S. 2B, we have to blow up, we have to combine our black boxes to blow them up, right? It'll create a reaction, it'll go nuclear, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the black boxes are an allegory for hearts. So it's kind of sweet whenever you see them, like, kneel next to each other and they touch their hearts together, right?
Kind of cute.
Yeah. Or when, like, they're being, like, descended upon by the hacked androids and they touch their black boxes together, and it's like they're being swarmed and they, like, just barely are able to touch their black boxes together and they arrive on the bunker.
Mm-hmm.
Or, yeah, when 9S gets corrupted by machine data and 2B has to strangle him to death, like, it shows all the times that 2B had to kill 9S. And that's when you kind of realize, like, 2B loved 9S, but it's kind of, she couldn't help herself. Even though it was 9S's idea, any sane person wouldn't kill someone they love, right?
Yeah.
But 2B did it no problem every time.
Just programmed to do it, designed to do it.
And 9S replies, shut up, shut up, shut up, to A2, right? He doesn't want to hear it, he knows the truth, but Pod 219 issues one last proposal to 9S, which is, you know, stop, essentially. And 9S gives 219 his final command, which is, you are to cease all logical thoughts, you are to silence yourself, and you will do exactly as I say until you confirm the death of either myself or Yorha A2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the game, at this point, lets you pick. It says no words other than pick one.
Pick one.
And it shows the two staring each other down. both have their swords drawn, which, by the way, Virtuous Oath and I think Virtuous Treaty. No, it's Cruel Oath and Virtuous Oath are the name of the two swords. Yeah. Cruel Oath is the one that 9S carries, and Virtuous Oath is the one that A2 has. 2B's sword, right?
Right.
So, who did you pick on your first playthrough?
9S. I think I wanted to pick 9S because I was like, there's no way that they just let him live like that. Right? I was like, what? How would it end with him?
Now, 9S, I know I've said A2 is my favorite character, but honestly, I think it's a dead draw. I love 9S and A2. Like, these characters, you've grown to love them. And at this point in the game, I was so sympathetic for 9S.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's my boy, right? I wanted to save him, right? So I picked A2, because A2, the whole reason she's there is to protect 9S. So I picked A2. You fight, and fight's kind of pretty hard. Especially if you pick 9S, I think.
Yeah, I just did a buttload of hacking, just tons of hacking.
Yeah, the hacking stages they give you is really hard for 9S.
Yeah, they were pretty difficult.
What I do like about if you pick A2 and you fight 9S, 9S will shoot hacking orbs at you, and they're presumed successes, right? So it doesn't deal you damage. It deals you a little bit of damage, I think, but what it mainly does is it disables parts of your system, like commands you can't issue.
Yeah.
So, like, if you get unlucky and you get you can't issue attacks, you're stuck running around shooting bullets at this guy now. And that's probably the best position 9S can have you in, right?
Yeah.
Because 9S loves shooting bullets and hacking people, right? So, but yeah, so the fight against 9S is really cool if you're A2, and the fight against A2 is really cool if you're 9S. But it's very emotional. And I want to bring something up at this point, right? Before we go over the last endings for C and D. Now, this game has had very, good theming, and especially in its color choices.
Mm-hmm.
Now, upon first glance, it's goth ballerinas and butlers, right?
Indeed.
Which, if you're into that, hey, dude, me too, right? But so, now the pods, their colors are black and white. Kyoshi, Ryoshi, their colors are
black
what?
And
black
white.
And white, yeah. 9S, A2, 2B. The three main characters, their colors are black and white. Every other character is not black and white. A lot of characters dress in black, a lot of characters dress in white, but they usually have blonde hair. In the case of the commander, in the case of the operators.
Yep.
Right?
That's true.
I think it's like an allegory for that, saying not everything's black and white. Like there's gray.
Yeah.
And there's deeper thought into this. And when we talk about the overall thesis of the game, I'll come back to this theory, but I want to bring this up now because it feels like that, right? Like, no one in this situation is correct, right?
Mm-hmm.
9S wants to ultimately be free from the cycle of life and death. He's sick of the war. Everything he's loved has perished, and he just wants to enact his revenge. Which, I don't necessarily agree with, but I understand, right?
Yeah, plenty of moments to empathize.
Yeah. And A2, for as emotionless as she started out as, she's full of emotion now. She's there to save 9S. She too wants the ultimate destruction of machines, but that's kind of taken a back seat to 9S, right?
Mm-hmm.
She wants to save her friend. Whether it's her friend or her memory's friend, the point is she's there to save someone, right?
Yeah.
And there's no wrong answer, because who's A2 to stop 9S from doing what he wants, right? You could argue 9S is not in a good spot logically, but yeah, but it's two ideals clashing against each other, life and death, essentially.
Yeah.
And I know, in Western media specifically, death is often shown as evil and life is often shown as good. But honestly, they're two sides of the same coin. So,
Yeah.
depending on how you look at it. And that's the case here.
Yoko likes to do the gray area.
The gray areas, yeah. Yoko Taro loves doing that. He likes to change perspectives and be like, oh, I was the bad guy all along, but whatever. Now, C, I think, is if you kill 9S with A2,
exactly.
right?
Meaningless code, and then D is childhood's end.
Yeah, okay, so it's D. D is if... So let's go over D first, since we're already here. After you get 9S to a certain health threshold, you enter a cutscene. I know I said it before, but attacker models can hack with the aid of their pod, right?
Yeah.
So A2 issues a hack command from her pod and enters 9S's cerebral data, I guess. But basically his core data. You've been in this space before as 9S, but now you're in it as A2, right? And off in the distance you can see a big pylon of light, like a big pillar of light. And your pod informs you if you can remove the logic virus, 9S will be restored to his previous self. And you're like, okay, let's go, right? So you get there, and you can remove the logic virus, but doing so will basically delete A2's data. Because there's no backup, so you essentially have to use your own data to rewrite it, right? And A2 is willing to make that choice because A2 is basically a nobody. There's more to her character, obviously, because of her past with an enemy, but narrative-wise, she just kind of showed up, right?
Pretty much.
She showed up, she tells us Command betrayed us, and then 2B's protect 9S, and she's like, okay, got nothing better to do.
As long as I can kill machines while I'm doing it, I guess.
Yeah, but when you do so, when you exit hacking space, the tower below you collapses, and A2 essentially says, I did it right. I protected you. And the game essentially ends there. You see 9S fall into the rubble, you see A2 fall into the rubble. It's presumed they both die, but the tower collapses, right? Now, if you pick 9S...
Childhood's end.
Now this ending is really, this is a doozy. This is just basically all of 9S's playthroughs.
Indeed it is.
Or all of 9S's cutscenes, excuse me.
Yeah, he just learned so many things, man.
So, 9S, in the final cutscene, he runs up to A2. A2 goes to swing her sword down on him, but she hesitates. And she hears 2B's voice, protect 9S, and 9S seizes the opening and stabs her and kills her. But 9S isn't a combat unit. And when he stabs her, he's so out of energy, so damaged, he falls. And he falls on his own sword. And you see 9S writhing in pain, he's bleeding out, he's asking for help, essentially. He's crying out, and eventually he goes limp. And man, I was in shock. I was like, no.
It doesn't matter what I choose, everyone will die.
You enter a white screen at this point in 9S's ending.
Boom, text-based adventure.
Text-based adventure. And 9S, it's presumed to be 9S. I mean, I guess it is. 9S is straight up, he's like, everything's going white. I'm going numb. Is this death? Do I have any regrets? I guess. And then he hears two voices call out to him. They're not malice, they're friendly. And it doesn't show you this because it's all text-based adventure, but he looks over, and who should it be other than Adam and Eve, of all people? And they ask 9S one question. Do you want to come with us? This isn't a canon. This is a rocket. We're going to go to space, and we're going to find a planet. We're going to colonize. Like, the war's over. So do you want to come with us, 9S? And you can choose to stay behind, or you can go with them. Did you go with Adam and Eve?
I think I did.
Yeah, so if you go with them, you get a cutscene of Adam and Eve basically being like, well, let's go, right? And that's kind of it. You just see them like extend their hands out to you. And if not, they say, well, suit yourself, but take care of yourself, 9S. And they blast off and you bleed out and die. And the credits start, and Pod 042 is like initiating data wipe, right? Because he says probably like the last thing you wanted to hear, right? And this puts you in 9S's shoes, honestly, at this point. Like, if you weren't already. Because it says 9S and A2 have been confirmed dead. Like, beginning data wipe, right? Because now that there's no more androids, the pods no longer have a purpose. It says, like, would you like to proceed, right? And you can say no. And it's like, do you want everyone to live? And you can say yes. And if you do, you have to fight off the data wipe, which is the credits.
Or in other words, fighting the architects, the gods of the world.
The creators. Like the thesis, like Two said in the very beginning of the game. Find the people who created this cruel world and kill them, right?
So good.
One of my favorite songs in the soundtrack begins to play, which is Weight of the World.
Yeah.
Weight of the World is, every time credits play, it's a song. But you get weight of, like Brandon was saying earlier, each track has a light, medium, and heavy, and you've never heard Weight of the World heavy before. And it changes. The game it's in 3 different languages, like Weight of the World. You hear it in Japanese once, you hear it in, I don't want to say made up language in case it isn't, but I don't know what language it is. It's like some weird language, like unknown language. And if it's an alien language I know, or a real language, I'm sorry if that's your native language. It's poetic, really, right?
Yeah.
And the credits are hard. like
hacking space times 10.
It's the worst bullet hell. Okay, it's the best bullet hell I've ever played, but it's the most difficult bullet hell I've ever played.
Yeah, it is definitely most difficult, because there's no like dodge or anything.
There's no dodge. You just have your little shooty boy, and a lot of these credits take more than one hit to kill. Like, they take like several, right? And they just keep coming. And it's designed this way on purpose, because each time you die, the game will ask you questions, like it did in the very beginning of the game, which is like, do you believe in God?
Is it worth it?
Is it meaningless? Is it, yeah, right? So ask you questions like, are games like silly things? Is it all meaningless? Like, did you have fun? Like, it starts asking questions like that. And then finally it asks you, would you like help? Right? And by the way, every time you die, you get like little messages. Like, it starts out as like 0. Like, there's no message. It just asks you, like, is it all meaningless? And you can, I mean, obviously, if you're just playing the game, you're probably going to say no.
Yeah.
And then the next time you die, it says, like, are video games silly things? And then it has one message of encouragement in front of you in space, and it says, like, you can do it, right?
From Josh, USA.
From Josh, USA. And you're like, thanks, Josh, right?
Yeah.
The game is no longer, it has not just, like, broken the fourth wall. It is, like, demolished it, right? You're in the game now.
You're
at
in
this
the
point.
game.
You're in the game. It's not VR, but you know, it is talking to you, the player, right? Eventually, it gets to the point where it asks you if you want to accept help. And if you say yes, all of these other, like, little droids, like, surround you, and they're presumed to be other players' data, right? It's set up this way because it is next to impossible to beat solo.
Yeah.
But it is so incredibly easy with people helping you. And this part of the game, Yoko Taro in an interview said he based it off a Coca-Cola advertisement campaign. Right, and Michael Sava did the research for this part for me, which, you know, we haven't talked, but he has a good video about it. So
It's a good video.
yeah, do check out his video when you're done listening to us. But so now this ad campaign was in India and Pakistan, right? And if you know anything about India and Pakistan, they're not friends, right? They fight wars, and I think it's because of two. I could be way off here, and if I am, I'm sorry. It's between two, like, essentially religions, right? It might be territory, but I believe it's a religious war. Now, so in this advertisement, they had a Coca-Cola machine that had a webcam on it, and the machine itself was a big giant, like, screen, right? When you buy Coke, it would FaceTime you buying Coke to the other one in the respective
the opposite country.
Yeah, so if you're in India, it would show you buying a Coke in Pakistan, and if you're in Pakistan, it shows you buying one in India, right? I know it's an ad, but if you watch it, it's really cute. It's really heartwarming and sweet, right? It's and like people are drawing shapes of each other. They're like, you know, they're like saying hello and they're smiling and they're cheering, and you almost forget these are two countries that are at war with each other and hate each other, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What Yoko Taro was saying in this point, I think anyway, was that when we're not fighting, we're all human, right? And we can all relate to each other when we see each other, right?
Right.
It's a beautiful message. It's, you know, like We Are the World song, right? Like, yeah, it's campy, it's stupid, but, you know, I think everyone at some point saw that and was like, "Aw," right?
Right.
When you eventually defeat the credits, you get a cutscene, and it shows all the, like, Yorha pods, like, flying, and they're reassembling 9S and 2B. Unfortunately, for us A2 fellas, A2 is nowhere to be found. But they're contemplating what's going to happen next, right? And it says, like, well, we don't know. We'll let them handle it, right? The pods saying that about the androids, like, you know, that they can choose their own destiny from here, right? So the cycle's been broken, right? Sort of. Pod 042 says, "Hey, thanks for playing, man," right? But you accepted help from strangers, right? Would you be willing to help someone else in need, right? And if I don't know anyone that wouldn't be willing to help someone,
You're
so
like, yeah, and then it's like, well, the price for that is
about that. Yeah,
it's your save data. It's all your save data. Everything, you know, your whole 40-hour, 50, 60-hour, whatever.
However many hours you put into this game, right?
You gotta give it up.
Yeah, and it is a brutal save wipe. It is not your save file. It is everyone's save file on it. So if your little brother, like Jeremy, had a save file, well, that sucks, bro.
Screw that guy.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, where's my save?
It's in a better place now.
It's helping somebody.
Someone who needs it. So, yeah, it asks you if you're willing to help, if you would be willing to delete your save file to help someone else in need, right? And when you say yes, it's very like, are you sure? Like,
I think it asks you 3 times.
It asks you 3 times because it says, like, you know, it'll be a complete stranger, right?
They could hate you, right?
Yeah, this could be someone you hate, like, and you won't get any thanks for it. Are you sure, right? And if you say yes all 3 times, it goes through it opens the pause screen, and the game, like, auto deletes everything.
Yep.
So you have to sit there and watch piece by piece as your save data gets deleted. Yeah. which makes it more impactful, right?
Yeah.
And what do you get? Oh, okay. I just figured out the other language. It's French.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Some alien language.
Yeah, that's some alien language, French. Sorry to anyone who can speak French. Anyway, you don't get anything if you do this. No achievement.
Yeah.
Like, you get, like, it pings your save data and you get a different title screen. That for all your hard work, right?
It doesn't, yeah. And it literally, I went in the files because I almost kind of regretted it afterwards. I went in the files, not a trace, no folder, no save, no nothing. I don't even know where the data they're storing that says what title screen image to use is, because it wasn't anywhere I was looking.
Yeah, and Brandon, you had like what, 40 hours? I think.
Yeah, I had 40, a little over 40. Yeah,
and you talked about earlier, like you told me, like, why don't you tell us about like what that was like, I guess, because then I'll go.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like the ultimate emotional crescendo, I think, because there's part of me that was like, well, I kind of have some things that I wanted to do. Like, I didn't max out the weapons, I didn't complete the arenas, I could do fishing even, I didn't do the Emil boss fight or any of that.
Yeah, there's so many side quests left, right?
Many. And I easily, there's probably an extra 30 to 40 hours, but at the same time, just thinking about it narratively and rhetorically, I was like, I don't know if I can't not do this, because I think it's a perfect companion to all the last themes that are going on with loss. And A2 has the same exact experience, the same kind of parallel, losing everything for somebody that wanted to actually kill her. So I don't know, I think in relinquishing my save file, it made me really feel what Yoko Taro wanted me to feel.
Yeah.
Really lose out, and then to empathize with A2 even more in just the whole game and this big emotional crescendo.
Yeah, it's like I've beat this game twice, right? Like, and this is probably my favorite like ARPG, if not just like RPG in general.
Yeah, it's way good.
So the first time I beat the game, I couldn't do it. I was like, nope, I love this game too much. I put too much time into it. I still wanted to do everything. And something happens which I didn't expect to happen, which was I never went back.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't complete everything, right? And it's not that, like I was saying, this is like my favorite game, so it's not that I didn't want to do it. I did, but
it's just one of those things.
Video games are such a disposable medium.
Mm-hmm.
And you oftentimes forget how good the good ones are. Like, because when you put a game down and you go play another game, it's almost kind of out of your mind, the last one you played, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's partly why we're doing this in, 2021, 4 years later. Because it's not that I had no desire to go back, but Brandon picked this game up, and then he's like, hey, I know you like NIER a lot. Do you want to do this? So then that's when I replayed it the second time.
Mm-hmm.
And, I forgot how much I loved this game. And then once I got to that last part, I was like, I think I'm ready to let go, because like I can't, I want to so badly, but that's, like I was saying, yeah, you got to be really dedicated to games to do all that extra stuff, right?
It's
like, I don't think
easy.
I've ever 100%ed a game, like, ever. And I love games. Like, I'm also someone who just loves like narratives and stories and character designs and stuff. Like, I'm not like super like, I play a couple competitive games. Like, I play some fighting games and I play League of Legends, unfortunately. Right. So, but the games that always hit home with me are like games like this, games that have like long narratives, relatable characters, cool character designs,
Yeah.
or stupid character designs, depending on how you think. But yeah, I've always loved RPGs, right? Especially Japanese RPGs. So I'll get into the differences between like Japanese and Western RPGs in a minute because I gotta finish my thoughts about this game first.
Gotta do it.
So when I deleted my save file, I said, "Oops!" I changed my mind, because I was like, "I'm so close, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've put in like an extra like 20 hours of not gameplay of like leveling up all the weapons and like doing some of the side quests. I don't have all the weapons yet, so I'm still missing a couple. And honestly, it shouldn't take that long, but it's a lot of like grinding, right? No one likes grinding.
Yeah.
Like if you like grinding, either you play MMOs or you're lying to yourself. But yeah, it was like, I was like, oh no, I had like 90 something hours, like. But I just kind of sat there and I was like, it's just a game. And I know that's kind of underselling what I'm trying to say, but it's like I got the full message of the game at this point.
Yeah.
Because the message of the game, in my opinion, isn't sacrifice. And this is where the black and white color scheme comes in. So now, if you notice, every character, every time you die, you come back. 2B at the very beginning says they're in a perpetual cycle of life and death.
Mm-hmm.
And this game is a Eastern RPG. And I know it makes a lot of parallels to God and Western philosophers, but I think this is what makes the game so incredibly smart and brilliant, right? This is not a commentary of Western religion. This is not a commentary of Western philosophy. This game is a commentary of samsara, right? And samsara is the principle of rebirth. This is big in Taoism and Hinduism, right? And some other religions I'm forgetting, but those are the two big ones, right?
Right.
Reincarnation, right? Every time you die, you come back to life. And the game is perpetually, if you don't delete your save file, you're still in that cycle of life and death and dying. You haven't reached enlightenment. Nirvana is enlightenment. That's when you've broken the cycle, like you've successfully transferred to the afterlife, because in samsara, or in like the law of samsara, when you die, you come back to life as something else, right? Yeah. And once you reach enlightenment, you reach nirvana, you're no longer in the cycle, you're in the afterlife forever, right?
Right.
And that's what I think this game is. It's samsara, right? And it's so incredibly cool to realize that. And Michael Sava, you gosh darn genius. You're the one that pointed that out to me in your video, so I was too walnut brained to figure that out. So.
But no, that makes total sense. By erasing your save data, you're not continuing the cycle of life and death, but you've escaped into nirvana and peace.
Yeah, and there's no big pat on the back for doing that, right? Like, there's no achievement.
I wish there was an achievement. Yeah,
you can't show it off to your buds on your Steam profile or your PlayStation Network account. Like, it's just like, oh, I don't have any save data, and I have a different title screen.
Yeah, I guess the pod warned you though.
He did, yeah. But, in the back of your mind, like, oh, I'll get an achievement. But nope.
Yeah, nope.
There is no achievement for deleting your save file.
Yeah. But it's brilliant, though. I mean, I think I thought about how that ended. That was almost more impactful for me to have done that, even though I might not have played super diligently if I kept my save, right?
Yeah.
Instead of, petering out how much I was playing until I got bored or whatever. I think it really drove home a bigger impact just to stop right there. And it caused me to think about everything that ever happened in the game, probably more so than if I had not.
Yeah.
By design, it's brilliant.
Yeah, so overall thoughts of the game from me. I mean, I've already kind of gone over it, but like, this game is probably my favorite RPG. I've played through Code Vein. I've played through similar games. Sekiro's really good, another Eastern RPG. Persona, that's more of a JRPG, but it's still an RPG. This one's my favorite. Now, so Yoko Taro, a little bit of history about him. He made the Drakengard games, right? He's always been a B game developer. He's never been AAA. And he somehow convinced Square Enix that he wants a sequel game to a B game that I don't think sold well. He wants AAA funding for this game. And they've always told him, maybe next time. And this time he got it, right? So yeah, this game is a sequel, but it's a good standalone game.
It is great.
You don't need to know anything. Yeah, you don't need to know anything about Drakengard. You don't need to know anything about NIER. There's a couple things that are weird, like Yona, right? And Emil. You're like, who the heck's Emil, right?
Right.
Especially if you've looked up Yoko Taro after playing this game, and you see he wears that Emil mask in all his interviews, and it's like, is Emil a self-insert?
It's like, hey guys.
Yeah, I thought he was the first time. But they re-released NIER Replicant in version 1.29, a million other decimal places, right? And he said this game was a fluke that it did so well. And that broke my heart because it's really not. This game is very much, it's not the smoothest game. It's not the prettiest game at times. It's very good looking.
Yeah, it holds up decently well.
Yeah, but especially if you played the PC version like I did, it wasn't optimized until kind of recently. So you'd be in 60 frames max settings, and it would drop down to gross 30 frames, right? And I know we're in the era of 60 frames. I get 200 plus.
I get 900 when I play Minecraft.
Yeah, but listen, bud, if your monitor can only handle 144 hertz, you can only handle 144 frames. You don't need 200 something unless you're pushing that, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, bottleneck. Make sure you have good peripherals so you don't bottleneck your system.
Pro tips.
But it was it's so jarring to go from 60 to 30, and the colors go from bright and green to dull and muddy.
Yeah, and then the cutscenes on top of that are almost 20, 25 frames, especially before optimization.
Yeah, and I mean, the color scheme of the game is very earthy, right? It's very the city ruins are gray, green, dirt, right? and same with the factory, it's rust. There's some water, but it's kind of dark water. It's very earthy, the game. There's lots of neutral colors. But I mean, that just makes the characters that are surprisingly color neutral, A2, 2B, 9S. Oh yeah, Adam and Eve are also dressed in black and white attire with white hair.
Yep.
But So then when you run into characters like Simone, who's in red, her dress, it's very oh, this character's important, right?
Yeah, it's very smart that way.
Yeah. Same with Roshi and Kyoshi. But yeah, color design's good. And if you've only played Western RPGs like Skyrim, Witcher, right? Great games, by the way. GTA, I guess, is a Western RPG. Great games.
Never thought about it like that, actually. But that makes total sense.
Yeah, Fallout. They're great games, but man, you are missing some. You don't know how ridiculous games can be.
No.
And I mean ridiculous in the sense of your goth ballerina blowing up robots in freaking Gundams, right? This game's stupid, and I love it.
It is really good with the extremes it goes to.
The game is stupid and serious. It has these huge jumps. Where a lot of the Western RPGs, it's they're trying to emulate Tolkien, right? And, who doesn't love Lord of the Rings, right? There's a whole, design philosophy that you haven't experienced yet. And so I think if you want a very good introduction to Japanese RPGs, this is a good one, right? I'm sure most people have played Persona. And being a weeb is more common now. Like,
Oh, for sure.
I see you, Gen Z. Like, like, yeah, it's being a weeb is like kind of cool now almost. So, but for that one guy, probably named Todd, who hasn't played a Western or Japanese RPG, I could do it, man.
Official recommendation to Todd. Go do it.
Yeah, if you're listening, Todd, like, I'm talking to you, man.
Your name's Todd. It's your turn. It's your time.
So, I don't know. Do you have any overall thoughts of this game?
I think you summed it up pretty good. But yeah, I think there's a huge market of people that I think will take a lot of Automata at face value. Oh, we got girls dressed like maids with swords. Oh, it's a JRPG, you know? But I think the same people, if they actually got into the meat of it, especially if you got people that play games for the narrative, especially, they're missing out. It's one of the few games that's like, this is a total masterpiece, but because of, I guess, the stereotypes that it does kind of come packaged with, a lot of people won't experience it.
Yeah. Oh, real quick. I wanted to talk about playthroughs. Because you mentioned that you played only the first half and put it down.
Yeah,
right?
I did, which happens.
Yeah, and interestingly, everyone I know that I said, go buy this game, or I'll kick you, I'll put a kick me sign on your back when you're not looking, right? Like, they all play through just 2B, and then they're done with it. And then like, that game wasn't that good. And it's like, there's like, you played the first third. Like,
yeah, like, oh, that game was only 8 hours long.
Yeah.
No, it's not. That's not possible. It's actually impossible.
So, I think like a lot of people play this game and then they played just 2B and then they put it down. And I mean, listen, there's so much of this game you haven't experienced. Like, so if you're that guy with like, you got like drool going down your chest right now, like, wipe it off and go play the game, man. Like, so
crack it back out of the PS4 case, slap it in there.
It's not like you have a PS5 anyway. Like,
get it on PC now that the PC version's been fixed.
Yes, it is optimized. It runs mostly okay.
Yeah, mostly okay. And I think
it runs a lot better than it used to.
And it's pretty accessible too. I'm pretty sure there's an easier difficulty. Yeah, there's an easy mode, pretty much. If you just want the story stuff, which is absolutely worth it.
Yeah, if you're not into this whole like, oh, it's like Souls, but not really. It's too hard. Well, hey, guess what, dummy? There's easy mode. And you know, this game, it opens the door to the NIER series as a whole, and that's only 2 games, not counting the Drakengard games, which are like precursors. But they're very good games. It's kind of the same idea, right? Like, without spoiling too much, they're very similar. You're gonna play a white-haired femboy, which, hey man, I'm okay with that. Like, you know, I cosplay 9S, bro. Like, yeah. So it's like, you're gonna play a white-haired femboy. You're gonna have stupid stuff, but it's like, I don't know. Game's cool. Very cool game.
I'm looking forward to getting into it. I think I'm gonna wait for a winter sale, see if it goes.
Yeah, it's just right around the corner, isn't it?
Yeah, so I figured I might as well wait a little bit. But I mean,
yeah,
I know if there is as much philosophical and like ethical things to think about, I'm gonna want to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know if that game is as nearly as thought-provoking as this one. I think this one is the most thought-provoking, and I don't know if that was intentional or not.
It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, but I think I've said I can talk more about this game for like another like 3 hours, but I think we're 4 hours deep in already.
Well, we're like 3 hours deep.
Yeah, but
Worth
that's
it.
another That's another episode right there.
Indeed.
Yeah, so I don't know, because I've got more to say, but a lot of it ties back to Gestalt and Replicant, so I don't want to save that for that part.
Indeed.
So, yeah.
Another 3-hour extravaganza with the local Yoko Taro expert, Mr. Jackson. So
expert, and I'm sure there's people that are way more into it than me, but as someone who appreciates his work, I know a fair amount. So
well, I think that's it, really. We both gave it a glowing recommendation to anybody willing to play it. Really.
Yeah, especially you, Todd.
Especially Todd, yeah. Get out of here, Todd. Go play the game. But is there anything else you want to plug in?
Yeah,
socials, otherwise?
If I may, give some shout-outs.
You may give any shout-out you please.
All right, so you know what? Real quick, I just want to tell a story.
All right, give it
about a costume that I never want anyone to see, and this is way off topic, right?
Okay.
But it leads into who I'm about to shout out. So on Halloween, I went as a Catboy.
Oh, for real?
And someone took a video of it and it went viral.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, it has like 21,000 upvotes on Reddit.
All right,
so,
send me the link.
I'll send you the link. It's a Warhammer joke that I don't understand because I don't play Warhammer. But a Warhammer community is kind of cool. But that leads me to who I want to shout out. So, first of all, I want to shout out Michael Sava because, well, gosh darn, we basically copied his homework. It's really good video, though. It's very good. It's pretty in depth. It's like 40 minutes. Yeah, it's 45. Yeah, it's basically he takes what we said, only it's scripted, so it's a lot better. And then what was that guy that you also looked at his homework for? That was Skill Up. He was talking about the soundtrack. Reminded me to talk about the multiple parts. So yeah, check out the people whose homework we copied, and then I want to shout out our art friends. Because support your favorite artists. Zach Advanced, I think is his name. Zach Advanced. Yeah, he did Brandon's Jedi Fallen Order. Zach _Advanced. Yeah, Zach _Advanced on Instagram. He thinks he's a bad artist. Go tell him he's not a bad artist. Because he's really good, actually. And then I'm going to shout out another artist here. There's Pigtails Power. She's my cosplay friend who took that video of us. Yeah, she's pretty good. And then there's one more art page. It's Mariah E. Davies, and there's a period between each name. I hope that's her art page. If not, I just totally doxed her. She makes really good art, and she's kind of scared to put herself out there, so I want to put her out there for her, so get pooped on Mariah. And lastly, go ahead. Yeah, lastly, I'll shout myself out. My Instagram handle is xcoolguy69. Yes, I might change it to Catboy Heretic because that was my throwaway account on Reddit. But if you can't find me at xcoolguy69, it's gonna be Catboy Heretic. I cosplay. I guess I'm a well-known Catboy cosplayer. But I cosplay 9S. 9S is, like I said, one of my favorite characters. I also upload pictures of me in my car, so if you like cars, I guess you can check me out. And if you want, I can link all this in the show description. All the accounts you're referencing and stuff. Yeah, I'll send those to you. Appreciate it a lot. Yeah. So anytime. Yeah. Also, make sure you check out Brandon's actual YouTube channel. Check me out on actual YouTube. I don't know if is this a separate channel, Void Arcade, or is this on your main? I don't have a YouTube channel for it yet.
It's just going on all the audio platforms right now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, YouTube likes to reward long form programs, so.
Yeah, I think I need to start somewhere.
Hey man, well, wherever, check out Brandon's other stuff, because Brandon makes really good videos. He's like a pro editor.
Thank you. I try.
So I was blown away the first video I saw of yours. I was like, whoa, Brandon made this? So
thanks.
Yeah.
Encouragement is very good.
Yeah. Raise your homies up, fellas. That's my advice. That's this game's advice.
Raise your homies up.
Raise up your homies.
NIER Automata. Raise up your homies.
Yeah. By Yoko Taro.
By Yoko Taro. Forget the Become as Gods edition. Let's do the Raise Up Your Homies edition.
Raise your homies, yeah. Alright, well, that's all I have to say, I think, for now.
Well, I think that will do us for this episode of Void Arcade, then.
Stay safe, guys. Love each other.
Love each other.
I like this thing. It's cool.